Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Gimmick. Are you ready to light it up? You know, usually I throw these guys, but in this type of situation, we just gotta.
Chills. Just as sure as a rock is covered in chills already. You can feel the mana. You can feel the mana.
You know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
Yeah! And my last
What the hell is this stuff?
Gasoline.
Because yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Trasdale. I'm joined by still skipping ringside, David. I'm joined by S-Bobs with no nickname this week. No nick this week. But yes, we got lots to talk about. Somehow, we were supposed to be on last week, and you know, I don't know if I fully believe in this. This might be a good episode to do with the GV boys I've talked about a couple times, but like believing in fate and everything happens for a reason. Last week, we were supposed to record the Gimmick this pretty much very same time where we had lots to talk about. We had Forbidden Door, Clash in Paris. That's a massive show. Other stuff, other news, everything. Always got the draft. We have today we're going to do our Forbidden Door kind of version 2. Last year we did 3 matches. This year we all have 10 matches, or 13 matches actually. 10 matches in a pre-show. So we're going to do all that. So we had a girthy show, but I had Logan's birthday, and as that pay-per-view kept going longer, you know, Roman Big Dog decided to take a full hour. Once I saw them leave the ring,
when you was at like 59 minutes.
When I saw it at like whatever 3:50 my time, I was like, that's it. I'm not making this podcast. There's no way. And then David was traveling back, and he hit traffic, so we're like, well, let's not do a rush episode. Let's do it next week. And even then, we still have lots to talk about. But good thing for some reason that happened, because if that wouldn't happen, we would not be talking about today the return of one AJ Lee, which did happen, which was crazy because they hinted that at Clash. They did we'll talk about it, very all right sort of fatal 4-way, but that clearly that's one of these WWE things we don't care about the match. Like, it's about the moment, right? And the big moment was, well,
put
Becky
Jey Uso in there, you know.
yeah, you know, people love LA Knight, you know, whatever, but Becky comes there, low blow Seth, and that's like, okay, she just joined the Vision, right? But then there's lots of you know, you're the worst, we hate your family, lots of stuff, right? And then lots of scuttlebutt, which is always funny. I guess I kind of get how it goes, but it's just so funny how I'm not saying they're fake. I don't want to get some tweet from SRS. Like, I believe he's hearing some stuff, but it's always just crazy to me how like they tease AJ Lee, and then every scooper's like, well, I've been hearing about it. It's like, well, no one fucking say anything before? Like, why did no one even say? And I get it. It's probably because they hear stuff and it gets confirmed. But that's what happens. Is that happens, and then every wrestling scooper's like, well, I've heard, and then progressively it's going more and more, and then SmackDown happens. Becky gets the main event segment. We know what's going to happen, and then I'll lead off with you guys because I don't want to rant too much, but David, it's been, I'll pull up, I have the official stat here. It's like, I can't remember what the 3,000 days were.
3,816 days, I think.
I think you are right.
It's been a decade.
I do want to hear your rants about it, though. You said you're going to let us talk, but I do want to hear what you think, because you've been the one that's been the most on about this. Like I saw on Twitter, I think you said Royal Rumble, but I remember it was Money in the Bank with like people were like talking about it because it was like, right. She was gonna like cost because that was like the Drew Money in the Bank. It's like, she's gonna push him off the ladder. So I remember that was when you swore it off. You said, I'm not talking about it anymore because I'm not getting my hopes up.
I think for me, why I got pissed off is when the other talent did what they did yesterday, which was, it ended up being right, like Big E, Paige, AJ, Bailey, they all tweet their eye emojis, like, oh, just memories. Like, that's when, like, that's okay. They were doing that type of stuff during Money in the Bank, which shows they really, maybe even yesterday, didn't fully know. They probably knew, like, with the week's build, but yeah, Money in the Bank was that one, because I remember, because it was like 2 weeks before he had also mentioned, I don't think he said AJ by name, but he said his wife or something like that. Like, Drew evoked
because that was AJ. I mean, that was the start of the bracelet lore with like Larry, AJ. So that was like the start of it.
Yeah, and no, I was done with all that stuff just because I didn't want to get overexcited. And we've heard this so many times. There was many fake Punk returns in the past too, of like, oh, it's happening. There's talks, and maybe sometimes they were, because CM Punk said that he and WWE talked a few times. But no, it was great to once the Becky thing happened, and this is where I'll again give credit, is there's the rumors and everything, but once those scoopers like an SRS, who to me is like an S tier 1, once he says, "Oh yeah, I'm hearing that," that's what's like, okay, it's just like the Punk thing when he said he was hearing. It's like it's pretty much a done deal. I am surprised by two things, as far as one, that's already Wrestlepalooza that's happening in a couple weeks, and two, that's full time, which we'll get into. But no, this felt great because I'm not trying to raise one person and bring down the other, but it's like a couple weeks ago when they bring back Nikki Bella, and this is not her fault. I'm gonna say it's WWE's fault. When they talk about like she's the face of the revolution, she was the star of the change, everything like that. Everyone in that era, in the 2010 to 13 era, knows that was not the case. She was not. I shared that tweet yesterday. She was not the one, while employed by WWE, tweeting at Stephanie McMahon, being like, "Hey, why don't we get paid more? Why don't we have more screen?" Like, she was not sticking her neck out. She was not wearing other talents' T-shirts while she wrestled. Like, AJ legitimately now, and we'll get to it when we get the match. I'm not saying she can even wrestle at the lengths of Becky or Charlotte. Like, she was in a different time where they only let them do so much, and then was gone for 10 years. So I think the good thing is there's lots of trainers, and she's full-time, so I'm sure that's going to happen. But to me, what I'm very happy about, and I've seen this sentiment shared, is she gets to enjoy the fruits of her labor. Like, she set everyone kind of up, and don't get me wrong, it was the 4 Horsewomen and Triple H NXT. Like, everyone played their part, but she was the domino where I don't know, like, David, other than Trish Stratus, I'd say near the end when she's running as a heel, like, what character that was a woman wrestler was a great character and an important part of the show that was not like sexualized? Like, I don't think, like, Trish, that's how Trish started, right? But at the end, she had her run and she was a great wrestler. But other than that, if they're the vocal point of the show, it's a wrestler was dating them, they're in the unfair storyline with Vince. Like, this was the first time, one, and especially in the Divas era, where really the women had, and that's not their fault, they had nothing to work with. They're given terrible storylines, they're wrestling 5-minute matches. She stood out and made herself stood out, but there was nobody in that time that popped like that, you know?
Yeah. Every woman who came in as a legitimate wrestler, you look back towards your Ivories, you look towards Victoria and things like that.
Even Beth for a bit.
They were at some point turned into a sexualized character.
Oh, not Beth, yeah.
Yeah, you know, you look at them, and I mean, Beth had that run with Great Khali and the kissing thing, and
right.
It was just,
she was Santino's girlfriend, right? Yeah, they did do that for a while, where they did like the dominatrix. Like, he was like, "Oh, I like big, strong women." So you're right.
They gave Natalia the farting gimmick and things like that. Like, if you could seriously go, they either turned you into a joke or they made you someone's girlfriend. They did not give them that time to shine on their own. They're like, "Oh, you're great. You're getting over. We're going to pair you with this person and you're now in a dating angle, or they're fighting over you or something to create this sexual tension, and not just you are a good wrestler." That's why it was so monumental when Trish and Lita had their match to end Raw, and they were the main event of Raw, and they were just there to wrestle. It wasn't we're fighting over a guy, we're fighting over who gets to manage somebody or anything like that. You guys just get to wrestle, and then we go another 10 years without being able to see something like that. So yeah, everything that AJ did was monumental. I jokingly would say that Stephanie McMahon pulled what I call the Al Gore move. A lot of people credit Al Gore with the creation of the internet. I still jokingly say to this day, Al Gore's internet. She did that. She created the women's revolution. No, you got called out by one of your main event talent to say, why aren't we on this level? And then you guys had to pivot because people started noticing. The bathroom break became a running joke that could not be ignored, so that you had to pivot and start this women's revolution. But AJ Lee was really the catalyst for that.
Mm-hmm. And even then, to that point, because I know someone might be like, well, look at AJ's character. She did a lot of those dating angles, but the difference thing is, one, it wasn't like sensationalized and like there was kissing, but it wasn't like the really raunchy stuff they did. And it always felt like she had the urge, like it was the guys fighting over her, and she would always turn on the guys. It's like, I don't think she got dumped by any of them in the storyline. Like, she ended up with Brian, and then I think they broke off a proposal, but then they got back together, and she left him at the altar. She left Kane, let's let him get in that. She left Punk, and then she started dating John Cena, but then turned on John Cena and Dolph Ziggler. And then the Dolph Ziggler and AJ thing, I think they just kind of I think they just stopped doing it.
I feel like I've never in my life seen a clip of like the Dolph like AJ breakup, so it might have been one of those things that they just like slowly just like got phased out or something.
Well, I think what happened was, That's when Dolph won, he's getting over babyface, and he got that concussion right away. And then Vince was like, "No, we can't have him be world champion ever again." He got one concussion, and he was a babyface. And I think they slowly,
they turned Big E and AJ against them.
Right, they did. Okay,
I guess they just put her like with Big E solely, and
and
were
did
just
who
like
did he?
friends.
Who did they had a mixed tag, and he tagged? I think it was a tag team SummerSlam, where it's like he and somebody versus Big E and AJ, and I think they won. Like I said, they were trying to give Dolph this mini push, and then Vince just gave up on it.
3-week push.
Oh yeah, and then one concussion, it's over. But that's where it's like that character had a level of urgency, and even then, that's where I've always pitched before. Oh,
it was Dolph Ziggler and Caitlyn versus Big E and AJ.
Of course, it was Caitlyn. Caitlyn's her Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, her Punk Bryan, like that was her person that they just wrestled a bunch. And but no, it's to me, it's just that's what's great is all this stuff has happened, and even just seeing her last night hold the Intercontinental title, it's like that wasn't even a thought back then. Like we had the Divas Championship, like tag team title, secondary title. That wasn't even a thought. The thought was just, can we get the main women's card like more than 10 minutes? Can we get like stuff going? Like you look at the stuff she had to do. So like other than the Kayla matches, she had a rough like her WrestleMania matches, like her versus like 11 people and some Divas gauntlet. Like
and it's like 3 minutes long or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, it's awful.
Yeah,
and then
I think it's pretty much like it's like her against like every single one of the Divas, and
yes.
It's just like a one fall match. It's just like if one person loses, they all lose, and yeah, it's like, and it came out. I remember it's the match after the streak ends.
Oh, it is because they just put him in the mega death spot there, though. So, Johnny Burns, I will update that because the Discord, I hate it. Every month it changes the link, so I will. I'll try to drop it in the chat here. I don't know why. Why Discord? They do this stupid thing where it's like, let's change our invitation link. Why? I don't know. But for me, it's just this is a very great time. It's something that other people have talked about too. It's just I'd have to think about this. Like, I think Trish is up there for some people, but really, when we had a whole generation of the 2000s, 2010s, even now wrestlers, the 80s and 90s wrestlers, when they came in, or I'll say the 90s, 2000s, is all like, man, I want to be like Ric Flair. And then after that, it was all like, oh, I want to be like Shawn Michaels. AJ to me is that for the women. And I think there's a couple women that are like, oh, like Trish inspired me, Beth inspired me. But I feel like to have like, there's been so many women in the past decade that have mentioned AJ Lee as their inspiration, a person that helped them out. Obviously, there's always ones on the rosters now, but it's just like, she's so influential that I don't think like people really process. And I think it's also because WWE did the whole kind of, well, we're not going to talk about this person for 10 years. Right. So I'm very excited. And it was a serotonin moment. And I said in the Discord now, like for me, there's really nothing, there's nobody left for me on the big returns. Like when Brett came back, that was big. And here's the other thing too, like, and I think Punk knew this, that obviously Brett had different situations, but that's the thing that always stuck with Brett, that once he came back, like he had the stroke and the concussion, he couldn't wrestle, right? There's like a slew of stuff he could have done. So it's like with Punk, AJ, I thought AJ may never come back. Sans, hey, I'm really happy to be here at the Hall of Fame, and I love my time in WWE. I'm very happy that she's back, and this is there. I think she's just going to be a highlight. Her being full time's crazy, but I think she's going to have great rating segments. She's going to have great segments. We'll see how she goes in the ring, because obviously there'll be probably a little ring rust, but I know she did stuff for like heels, and I'm sure she's still training and whatnot, but it's still like a whole, any wrestler will tell you, like even a year away is like rough on your body, right? So 10 years of not full-time bumping, it's going to take some time. So I'm not, I just hope when her and the Becky match happens, it's not like, and even then, like AJ's not like I said before, she's not the Dave Meltzer 5 out of 5. She's a purely character act that can go in the ring, but it's her character and her promo stuff that's gonna really deliver, you know. So
yeah, I was gonna say at least for the first match, I feel like she's in there with like 3 of the best, pretty much. Yes. She can like sell and pretty much do anything that she needs to do. And yeah, like you said, obviously with the character stuff, I feel like her and Becky's gonna be really good, because obviously Becky, it's like what people are talking about, it's like even like Becky is such a great promo, but even on the women she has to sort of like hold back just because like she is just like the greatest. And that was the good thing about that Punk and Becky promo, because she could just go like fully in on him because like she's just on that level.
Yeah,
and I do think AJ will be able to match that.
And that's the hope eventually too, because I remember I think she's gonna have to find her way as well too, because I remember those first couple WWE Punk promos, they were a little iffy. It was I was in that camp of like, man, he lost the fire in the eyes, Chica, right? Like that sort of thing. Like he for a while took him to get, and that's the same thing where it's going to take a little bit, and that's the same. Like we'll talk about because I know someone might call me on when we talk about the Clash thing, like, oh, why wouldn't you use that with Nikki Bella? Because my thing is like, well, Nikki Bella never got like to me to that level. She never had that like second gauge that AJ did, right? Where I know she has that, and it's gonna be very interesting. But yeah, Dave, what were your thoughts on this happening now? And it seems to be, she's gonna be back. We're gonna talk about some fantasy stuff, but it seems to be back full time, I guess, according to rumors.
So over the last couple of months, as the rumors have been popping off, I haven't really given them too much credit. I haven't delved into it that much because I did not want to get my hopes up. But then after Monday night, it became again one of the worst kept secrets of like, okay, this is happening. And then you had the guy from WWE Shop basically ruining it for the internet by responding to a tweet saying, yeah, this is happening, we'll have some merch soon. But even with that, it was still
employment.
It was still that moment of just waiting for it. And the entire time with the promo, like when Punk came out and got in Becky's face instead of Seth, I was like, yep, this is happening. It's happening. She starts to slaps and everything else. I'm like, okay, AJ's going to run out. Every time I'm waiting on the exact moment when I think it's going to happen. And for one of those moments where it is one of the worst kept secrets, you know it's happening. Having those, is it going to happen now? Is it going to happen now? Is it going to happen now? That's fun to me. It's not like earlier with the John Cena match where, all right, they're going to have fun, but we know how this is going to end. This is more of a, when is this? What's going to be the pop-off moment to have this happen? And then to have Punk standing there, arms crossed, just proud moment watching AJ skip down. Things like that. Again,
she swerve meme.
You know, it was an awesome moment. It was fun. The crowd ate it up. She had her moment. I like the fact that Seth and Punk didn't begin their own brawl to take away from this moment. He just kind of stood there facing down with Seth like, hey, you want to jump in? We can go. And they stood off to the side while Becky and AJ AJ got complete shine in that moment, all on her own. You didn't muddy it down with what's going on with the guys. They just let her have that. And I think that was an incredible moment for her.
Even everything, like obviously it's not like a big surprise. It's her husband and that they've been together for 11 years now. But just like aftermath, like it felt very much like the AJ stuff. It's the same thing of even when they had this match. I'm like, man, when they win, whose music's gonna play? And it's like I feel like it's gonna be AJ's, because she has the big comeback. And no, I think everything about that was perfect. Because at first I was like, why do they have Seth in the crowd? Like this feels very odd. Like for him to be like, I'm in the crowd, but then they're doing this whole thing that he's a hiding champion, right? Which is strange because like literally the last world title run, it was like, I'm a fighting champion. I'll fight anybody.
It's supposed to be like, he's bad now, so he's
I know, but it's just like that's my disappointment with the Seth thing is I felt like he didn't take the Drew and Hangman stance that when they became heels, they were pretty much the same, but they just talked differently. And they did like a few cheating here and there, but it wasn't to that extent where Seth has like the first few weeks of the Seth writers, it was like, oh, it's just still Seth, but he's on the bad team. But now he's just fully like he's up like there. He's doing the Kamuchnik
character.
Yes, and they have a very similar mindset. I don't enjoy that because I think Seth worked really well. So I wanted Seth to turn heel, but I wanted just that character to be on the opposing side. I thought his babyface character was one of the best, but now he's like a little. They're definitely going into the more comedic stuff, like when he went over the ring bear and stuff, like which is that's fine. Like it is what it is, but it's never going to be my favorite type of stuff. And I haven't been watching weekly as of late right now, but I know that it feels so funny that Seth, every time he doesn't have the title, people want him to have it for X, Y, and Z. And then when he gets it, everyone's like, he's ruining the product. He's doing this stuff. It's like, no, like I think it's still fine. I just wish it was. I don't know. I wish that he wasn't so just classic 80s heel again. I think he had a really good character, but that's what they're doing. They're gonna get the big win, but yeah. What about you, I suppose? Because obviously you've heard about all this stuff for quite a while. The legend of AJ Lee, and I saw you watch some Caitlyn match last week. So obviously there's some other ones, but even then, it's like that's the tough thing. Like in that era, you couldn't. You'd be easier to name like the 5 best women's matches of the 10 decades than versus AJ's because they were so rarely they got the time, right? Like I think there's one good one in Paige she has in there.
I was using Dropkick because you can look at like the top rated matches and it's like AJ has like 3 that are like pretty good rated, and then like already like at the 4th it's like at like a 2.2 rating or something like that. But yeah, like you guys said, obviously I wasn't really around to see like all the stuff she did in real time, but just hearing about it for like all these years, and I was like, everyone's always been talking about the return at like every Rumble, like you know, like you said, even at like Money in the Bank, and obviously when Punk came back, I was like, oh, is AJ gonna come back now too? And so yeah, it was. Like in Clash in Paris, obviously when this all started, I think at first I wasn't really thinking about AJ, not until like the stuff with the sign and stuff like that. I was just thinking like, oh, Becky's gonna be with Seth now, I guess. But obviously all the rumors through this week, it just started getting bigger and bigger, and then it got to a point where it was so big that people started trying to like talk themselves out of it. It's like, oh, it's gonna be Bailey or Rhea instead, which I did like Punk did like specifically name those two in the promo. Which I thought was funny.
Was another, that's where like Becky's doing the whole 80s heel thing. It makes no sense when she's like, you have nobody. It's like he listed like 3 different people he could get. Like even if AJ wasn't around, he has a bunch of like they have not made Punk this character that people, they try, like even Roman is like, oh, don't trust him, but like they constantly show Punk has multiple friends backstage. So again, it was like that was a weird angle for Becky to take, but
he has the whole NXT roster.
Yeah, you get someone down from there, you know. You get Dan Housen to come fight, you know. So, yeah.
But yeah, see the moment I was just waiting the whole show for it, and yeah, that even in the promo, like you were saying, it's like at what moment is she gonna come out during this? And yeah, just huge reaction to it, and I thought it was a great moment.
Yeah. No, so it's going to be interesting. And even stuff to see, like, obviously they did the on-screen relationship, but then Punk and AJ to be actually man and wife doing this stuff on screen and hang out, that's very cool to see. And it's going to be a fun time. Wrestlepalooza should be a good time. And then after that, we'll have to see. And that's what we're talking about a bit today, because I will say that as Bubs had put out, at least in our Discord, saying his prediction was that you could see her getting the IC title. I was like, oh, no way. Like, I thought the same way as Punk, that if it happens, it's going to be a 1-month run for a title or Money in the Bank situation. But now with this full-time stuff, because that's the thing with Punk, like, I think he's on a full-time contract, but I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he is.
I feel like it's like a below full-time though, right? Like I feel like there's full-time, part-time, there's right, because there's times where he is gone for like 3 weeks after a program or something, right? It's not like Randy or Roman, where Randy's like he's gone multiple months. Like Punk will have a big match, and then it's like I remember after the Hell in a Cell with Drew, like he was gone for almost a month, then he comes back. Yeah, then he came back for Survivor Series, right? He was gone for like he takes these breaks. So that's why I'm curious. But now if he wasn't
that often, I feel like he's pretty much on TV like every week. Obviously, he doesn't wrestle like as much, but I mean, he still wrestles like, I'd say like in a month he'll probably wrestle like 1 match on TV and like at the PLE.
Yeah, and plus some random house shows they do sometimes, right?
He
was just doing that at
a lot. So.
Yeah, so yeah, and that's where even if he wasn't full time, he's gonna be now. And then, but I that was they didn't have this on TV, but that was the lasting image, almost to the point where I thought, is AJ just gonna steal this belt? Because she's like running around with it, wrestling sin. She kissed the belt. I'm like, no, you can't do that till you win it. But to me, that was very much just they just completely blew, which is fine. Like we think it's gonna happen, but it's like they just show like that's definitely the path they're going. Is this tag? Maybe Becky wins one by cheat, or maybe it's like a DQ finish because Triple H fucking loves his DQ finishes in this era. My God, what happened, Paul? For the first 2 years, because Emily's like, this must be TKO. Because I'm like, in the first 2 years, that was not a thing. Vince used to do this all the time, and Triple H, when they took over, that was not a thing. They weren't doing these DQ finishes like all the time, and they have Raw like 5 weeks in a row interference, the fucking Brock thing. So I digress. They could do a DQ finish, but I do think this is the path forward. And I said this in the Discord, the pitch, and I really hope what they do is, I know everyone is, but I hope it's AJ Roxanne WrestleMania IC title. I don't want a fucking... She bumps into Roxanne backstage, and Roxanne's like, yo, I was a fan of yours, but now I'm better than you, and I'm going to show you in the ring. Like, no, don't give me some...
Like, what the, like, first, because I feel like she will do like a match on Raw just to be like, I'm back, pretty much. Maybe not like
between
before
now,
Wrestle.
right?
Yeah, not. I'd say maybe like right after or something like that.
Yeah, I feel like so what how many Raws do we have to Wrestlepalooza? In my
I
opinion,
think 2 more.
Two,
She's supposed to be apparently on
this week and
next
next.
Raw.
yeah. What I would do, because I agreed, I suppose you had that pitch a couple weeks ago about, oh, they should do like when Punk bumped in everybody. What I would actually do is I would save that for after Wrestlepalooza. Keep her completely secluded to just Seth and Becky right now, because it's only 2 weeks, right? Do that, and then at that Raw after, just open the floodgates, and she bumps into everybody. Like that, she should be the opening Raw promo of like, now that I beat Becky, and Becky can come by and say like, no, you didn't. It was a tag, and that's how they can get that going. But they need a promo. It shouldn't be backstage either, in my opinion. They need a promo where AJ's kind of promo, and the Rhea Ripley pop happens, and you get that stare down. So like, I think there's multiple stuff, but her first match back, and I don't want to be Roxanne. Obviously, that's a good option. I don't think you could give Raquel that responsibility.
Yeah, because I was thinking it's like it sort of needs someone to be like
Newer,
not
but
like,
seasoned.
like a low card sort of, but like
Yeah.
good. Like it's like
Not Natalia. You can't do Natalia.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, you could like.
I feel like it has to be someone new though. That's why, like someone she hasn't versed before, where she has versed Natalia many times in the past. I'm trying to think who would be the perfect.
It's like someone to just like give her a win on Raw, and someone she can like work with that isn't like it can't be like Maxine Dupree.
Does Ivy fit that bill? Like I don't know if Ivy's good in the ring.
Pretty good, and she could lose. I mean, that's like.
But does that give
possible.
people like it is like because like
yeah, I don't know.
Is this like because what was Punk's first match on Raw was the Seth one, right? That was long, like way longer, but right?
Punk's
He never
first
wrestled.
Match on Raw, I think was the Seth one.
Yeah.
He didn't wrestle at all.
Yeah.
Like he only did the PLEs, and then his actual first one on Raw besides that was Sami Zayn.
Yes, yeah, it was Sammy and him. So yeah, I feel like you have to. I guess I just don't know because again, if it's Punk full time and she sometimes takes some weeks off or just lots of promos, then I could see every match she does big. But if she's like wrestling a lot, which could always be the case, it could be just somebody. Whoever it is, I just hope it's not Roxanne. I just don't want them because my worry is, and that's what they're gonna do. I feel like they're gonna do a big Raw match, and that. Granted, that can be big, but
and a DQ, just everyone run in. That you say
no,
the real
Roxanne's tapping, and you know what? Who knows? Maybe because Triple H knows this, and Roxanne's a fan. Maybe Roxanne would want that, and that would be because you could legitimately main event a Raw with AJ and Roxanne. I just feel like you should keep them apart. Now, granted, lots of the actual audience doesn't know this stuff, but as the wrestling fan, there is a hype promo package with how many fucking pictures Roxanne has with AJ Lee. You can build that up, like you can do like. They've done this many times, but one of my favorite one was in WrestleMania 19 when they did Jericho and Michaels, and that was the same thing. They built that up, and Jericho talking about how when I grew up I wanted to be the next Shawn Michaels, but I gotta realize I'm gotta be the first Jericho, and he turned on him. But like, I love the storyline of old Lion versus young Cub, and that's where it's just like this would be perfect, and that's like. To give the IC title something big, that would be huge of AJ Roxanne first time, but. Yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe they take the Punk route though. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she doesn't wrestle on Raw for like a long time. Maybe they hold off. They could, right? She can just especially if she's known for her promo and character stuff, just have her promo off with people. And even then, maybe it's just her interacting with Becky for another month. Because what's after Wrestlepalooza? Is that the Australia
Crown
show?
Jewel, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe that's where you get your. They'll just do some smosh 6-man tag like Rhea, Io, and AJ versus like Becky and. Oh God, I don't even know. I think
the supposed rumor that I've been hearing is that it's Rhea and Io at Crown Jewel, but like
versus
not for the title. That's a rumor. I think it was Abu who said like I heard it's like Io versus Rhea or something like that. Or wait, no, was it? I don't remember now.
Okay,
but,
because
yeah,
that'd be.
I think I confused myself, but
because I feel like if they have like a blood feud, one of them's got to turn. I think that tag team run's coming sooner than later because you got Asuka.
Yeah.
And,
actually, now I think I think maybe that it was something like that was the original plan or something like that. But now I feel like they might do Rhea and Asuka there, because that's a big match, and like
Yes.
you can have Rhea win and not.
Or
be
couldn't they
for,
make
like,
that the
world
first
title.
tag team match of Rhea and Io versus Kabuki Warriors? They could also do that too,
They could.
But yeah,
I
you're
think
right
the
because it's
rumor was like
Australia.
supposedly like a more specifically like a Rhea and Asuka feud right now.
Yeah, so I could see them going there, and then I guess we'll talk about is Io and Stephanie. Is that Wrestlepalooza or is that a Raw?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's on Wrestlepalooza.
I'm still sticking with Stephanie's winning that. I we're blending into stuff there, but I think Stephanie's winning, and I'm pitching it. Stephanie's winning, and Rhea's winning. I'm not putting myself in a hole. I'm saying Rumble or Chamber. She's winning one of those, and you're getting Stephanie and Rhea. I think that's what's happening. And then, yeah. But anyway, so with AJ, so we got. I guess they're gonna do that at that Crown Jewel then, AJ and Becky for title, or they might hold that off. Like, what's after that then? That's Survivor Series, right?
Series, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what you do. Where is Survivor Series at? Is it like
San Diego?
Okay, so
California.
nothing important. Okay, so then yeah, I'll just say that she just and I you know what I think she's just gonna beat Becky the first time out. I don't even think they're gonna delay it. I think they're gonna give AJ the win. That's what I think they're doing with that. That's my pitch is you get her there. I'm not sure if she's in the Rumble, but you work towards AJ and Roxanne, and you do that. Even though there's tons of dream matches you can do. But David, what do you see for AJ in the next couple months following up?
I see AJ having a championship run. I think that is part of the allure. I don't think it's going to be a long one, but I do think
Like
that
for
part of
IC or the main title.
I think it'll be IC.
Okay.
I think it'll be IC because knowing AJ, I think that her respect for the IC for that workhorse belt would mean more to her than dethroning one of the people and being at the top of the card. I think the selling factor for Punk was main eventing WrestleMania. I think the selling factor for her would be having that run where, you know, she's consistent. You strap her up with the IC, you let her go on a little bit of a tear for a couple of months with that before losing it. Reestablish her, remind the fans who she is after 10 years and things like that. Again, I don't see her taking a top spot from a Tiffany Stratton or from someone else, but
yet.
just having having that moment, depending on what they do with this vacant Women's World Championship, you know, having that go on. Those are two relatively up and coming groups of people. You can argue left and right about Io Sky, but with that, I don't see her coming in and taking one of those spots immediately. I see her more of being the one to dethrone. And now it would be hilarious if on the same show she beats Becky, Punk beats Rollins, and you just have a disheveled, almost kind of like how what the Bucks have been doing, where they've been on this slow decline of just losing it. Just have this disheveled from Rollins and Becky, like they go back to wearing normal people clothes and things like that. Like just watch them fall down before they have to bounce back up.
Rollins
I
is
do
safe,
wonder
though.
with that
He's
because I was
safe.
thinking like if they win at WrestlePalooza like the tag match, then you could do obviously Seth and Punk and then Becky and AJ. But then the other things we were like talking about was like, oh, we thought we were gonna do Cena and Seth at Crown Jewel. So I do wonder what Cena's doing there. Because he 100% has a match. Like,
well, yeah, but couldn't he still? Because I guess the next one is so it's Wrestlepalooza and then Crown Jewel. Yeah, that is interesting. Because even then, though, like kayfabe, I feel like couldn't you just technically say Punk shouldn't get a shot? Like I know he's lost by cheating twice, but still, it's like he's lost 2 title matches in a row.
I mean, like if like Punk and AJ win at Wrestlepalooza, I mean.
Like what happened?
Like beat.
I guess right.
Seth
They beat the champions. Yeah,
it.
you're right. Yeah. Yeah, that's tough because I feel
Cena
like
will just like fight someone random.
it could be someone random. I'm not sure who it really would be because obviously we got Brock. That's not going to be AJ. It sounds like. I really don't. I don't know unless they do like some sort of. If they want to get ready for war, no, because I was gonna say like, is it Braun
like
and Bronson versus like maybe to me maybe one of those two. I wouldn't. I don't know. But even then like going from Cena to Brock then Cena Braun feels very weird. Like that's a very similar type of match, even though the Braun match will be highest superior. So yeah, I'm not sure. I really don't know what they have cooking for Cena, because yeah, you would think that CM Punk and Seth would be next, unless they, I don't know, do some injury angle for Punk, but I don't think he's taking time off. His wife just got on the road. Like, I feel like they're gonna be together. So
he just gets written off like right away.
the Roman
Someone has
style.
to take care of Larry at home.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. So yeah, that's a good point. I always thought it would be Seth, but maybe it's not. And Seth could be another time, right? Like Seth could be his, like, even though it could be Gunther, Seth could be his last match, right? If they want it. I don't think it would be, but I think it's the big Gunther. So we'll see. But yeah, I think it is IC, but don't get me wrong. I do think within the next, I don't know about 2 years, but I'll say 2 years that AJ's winning the main strap. I think that it's going to happen. I think what's going to happen, she's going to get so popular and over. And also just like, I don't want her only main title to be like the Divas Championship. I want her to be with and I don't know why, this is just the old school me. I'm like Cody. It's like, I want her to win
the main
the WWE title. I don't want to be the because that's a different lineage. Like, have them both, sure, but it's like, I remember when the World Heavyweight title came up, they asked Cody like, "Oh, would this one count?" He's like, "Oh, that's a nice title, and I'd like to win that one day, but I'm really focused on this main one right now," because everyone knows like the lineage goes back to the WWF. Like that's the one. So I hope it happens.
I think he was like in the tournament for the World
Heavyweight,
and he got like disqualified or something in like the first round or something like that.
Everyone, including myself, was scared because it was that, and the finals were in Saudi. It's like, oh my god, he's gonna win the World Heavyweight Championship in Saudi Arabia. Why did he leave AEW and stuff? And it all worked out for him. But yeah, I do foresee her winning the main title, even for a short run, because I don't think Punk doesn't care as much. But
right away.
Yeah, I would hope not, because like, at least with Punk, like, he had his big world title run, before. We're like, AJ did. Don't get me wrong. She had that title for a long time, but she didn't have the title in like the women's peak. It was like, again, when we talk about like what she had to do, the 5-minute match, it's like, this is like, hey, you could be the woman when the women's wrestling is the top. And that's where I'll say S-Bubs. You pick one, even I'll say program and match, because obviously she's a lot of character. What's the one other than Roxanne that you're hoping to see the most after Becky and Roxanne? Because we know those are kind of two inevitable ones. But if Big H comes to you and says, hey, Raw after WrestleMania, I'm setting up AJ and blank, what are you doing?
I mean, you sort of mentioned it, but I would like to say, I think obviously AJ and Rhea has to be one.
Yeah, you gotta. That's
the internet would go crazy.
There. Yeah, there's and like I feel like, which is different though. This was very weird for me that AJ's much bigger than she was when she wrestled. So seeing her do the skip, and she has like these like massive thigh muscles, and she has like she's always been in great shape, but she's put on like actual like muscle pound. Before I thought, oh well, that's a great match. Like Rhea can just throw her around, but she's still smaller. Don't get me wrong. But okay, Rhea. What about you, David? Who's your top draft pick?
Well, since you took the Rhea one, I'm going to say that I would love to see her against one of the, I'll say, semi-young up-and-comers. Like, so give me her versus Stephanie Vaquer or Julia. Just one of those, because I think
Julia needs something over there on SmackDown. I was watching SmackDown last night. That crowd was pretty cool. Like, that U.S. women's title picture is they've done Julia no favors with that. It's so funny that Stephanie's like a fucking megastar over there in Raw, and Julia's just like 2005 mid-card wrestler right now. It's like, what's happening, But
I think that both of them can produce great matches, and any area that AJ may be lacking right now, any ring rust that she may still have, they can overcome with either of those opponents.
So hear me out. I'm picking Jade. No, I'm joking. I'm not picking Jade. It's unfortunate.
When you're saying to win the main WWE Championship, I was thinking of that. It's like, yeah, AEW dream match of what could have happened.
Okay, no.
Her versus Jade.
I would say AEW dream match. Now, granted, when AJ came in, I know this sounds funny now, Britt Baker would have been a great opponent at the time. That would have been great. But no, I legitimately believe, because it's funny that both in AEW, obviously after a year, Punk started to have problems, but then AJ didn't come in right away. It was after a year and some change, right, with Punk. Like, I legitimately think she was using her man as a trial run of like, hey, that's great. Let me know how it goes. Because I think, obviously Punk,
show me the money.
yeah, or that too, which they could roll a big check. But like that's not an issue because I know if it was
If
available,
TK,
Tony
he
could have wrote the money,
10
right?
mil, yeah.
That's always the stick against. It was like, well, we won Daniel Garcia, but he gave him like double our offer, so we can't. Even Stephanie Vaquera had said that, like, I got more money offer from the other place, but she wanted to go to W, right? So I do think which is funny because it was like 2 years ago, Punk would either be like near the end or just about to be a new deal. If he was at AEW and it worked out, I legitimately think, April Mendez or whatever would have been there. I think that would have happened, but this happened this way. And don't get me wrong, I think there's some people that it makes more sense to return to one place or the other. To me, when Edge was coming back and there were talks he was going to go to AEW first, I didn't want that because, like, the way his story ended in WWE, it felt more proper that he should go to WWE first. I feel the same way as about AJ. Where Punk, his character, it worked that he didn't go, like, it worked that he returned to AEW at the time because he was anti-authority, and I hate that. Like, it made sense, like, you're joining the competition, right? Like, for him, it made sense. Even that's why I think WWE's kind of shitty towards Paige and Saraya. Like, I don't think she's the greatest in the ring anymore, but I think she kind of blew. That was another one where it's like, I think when you get injured and you're mid-promotion, the return feels better there. Where AJ left on her own accord, right? She had a WrestleMania match, wrestled, no champion. There's not like an unfinished story where even with Punk, it was like, yeah, like that bridge is kind of burnt. Where with Edge and Paige and even Bryan, it felt like, yeah, they should probably return to WWE first and then go elsewhere. So as much as I would have loved I wish we lived in a universe where the CM Punk run lasted 4 years and then he went to WWE. There's so much stuff, like the fact that we never got him and Bryan ever again is such like it's just a sad, congrats to Bryan, full-time commentator, good for you, but it's just like, I wish it worked out and we got the same scenario, but I guess all I see in my timeline now is just thanks Hangman for what you did and everything. So, no, my actual pitch is, I know she's been memeing about it, and they've done it a little bit before, but when she gets back, her and Naomi is going to be a perfect combination. Naomi with this character. A year ago, I wouldn't have cared. But yeah, I like Naomi as a ring worker, but this whole like caution and her being unleashed, everything like that, to me, I see a scenario, and that's why I think it could be World. I see a scenario whenever Naomi's back that AJ could be the world champion and like a post-match attack or something like that from a Naomi would fit completely, especially with all the stuff she's been saying online. She could be going after the title, and then you literally have like crazy person versus crazy person, the antics, the promo. Like, I think there could be some
like the big, like that could be like a women's Hell in a Cell if they
that could that could be tons of stuff. Yeah, that could be like unlimited stuff, right? And I hope that Naomi does come back at a relatively soon time, but obviously very different because she's gonna have a child. But obviously, Becky and Seth are making work, so everyone's situation is different. But that would be, I think that'd be the one. Other than Rhea's, but Rhea's, that's another one where I feel like they're gonna save because that's like a main event WrestleMania, SummerSlam at any time. Like you could do that at any time, And there's a couple other people. We'll see. Like I'm for some reason, like the thought of like AJ and Bianca doesn't excite me, and all those feel like two characters that like clash. But now when I say that, watch, they're gonna get in the ring and just have like this like crazy chemistry. But it's kind of the same thing as like Tiffany and AJ, where I'm like, that doesn't like, don't get me wrong, I want it all. But if you're asking me like ranking wise, I'm not like, oh, I can't wait to see Tiffany and AJ. It's like, no, like I'm still excited for Tiffany versus some other people, right? Like AJ and Tiffany feels
that I think of that I just like randomly think would be good is like AJ and Asuka. I feel like
I think so.
Asuka obviously has like that like strong style, but I feel like they sort of work like that sort of brawler-esque style. I think they'd have a good match.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, another one, could have been an AEW dream match. People can stop me on. Once she's get to the main roster, her and Blake Monroe can actually do some really fun stuff together if they let them. They could have a really good time with the character dynamics there. And again, you get the April Mendez versus Mariah May match. And again, I'll keep pimping her out too. I don't think anything character-wise, but I'll be excited for Jordynne Grace because Jordynne Grace can have a fucking great match with a broomstick right now. So I was going to ask, so are we all thinking the trajectory is tag match and AJ beats Becky for the title?
Yeah.
Right?
I think
okay.
So, yeah.
So then what is next for Becky then? What do you do, like, let's say around that Rumble main time? Like, do you get her back in the main title picture?
I think she goes back in the world title scene.
Yeah.
You do her and Stephanie?
I think especially on Raw,
yeah.
I think you have just so much that you can put pretty much anyone in either, like, the IC or world title scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Stephanie ends up winning the vacant, and then she'll have a couple of matches just get some wins under her belt as champion.
Yes.
But if you want to go for like a long feud, I think Becky's your choice.
I think pretty much if any one of Io, Stephanie, or Rhea are the world champion, like you can do the Becky match.
Absolutely. Even when they, it was funny when Punk mentioned Bailey. She's just like, oh well, fuck. Why didn't we mention that?
And Rhea,
actually, my number one.
Scared.
Yeah, I guess my number one pick for AJ is actually Bailey. I forgot. That sounds bad. I'm feeling like Triple H right now. Like I do like that. There's a bunch of story you could tell there as well. But when she mentioned Bailey, she's like, oh, I beat her a bunch of times. When she mentioned Rhea, Becky was like a little scared, right? So, and have they only had the one match ever, her and Becky, right at Mania, when Becky was super sick, right? So it's like in kayfabe, Rhea's beat Becky and that's it, right? They're like, she hasn't beat her. So, and that's the thing with Becky and even Becky and Stephanie, I could see that being the Mania feud, right? Like you could do a lot of things. And that's why I'm really interested. I hope with the IC and the US and even the tag, they do build it up, because there's so many women now that not even you could argue be in the main title spot that you could just have main eventing that show. Like, and I hope we get more like we got this year with Jade Naomi. I hope there is some just blood feud, right? Like even then, like just do Rhea and Bianca, but even then, no title. Just, hey, who's the better woman? Let's put on this great match. We've been trying to do this match for like a year and some change and whatnot, but okay, Becky and that. Because that to me, the women's WrestleMania side is the most intriguing, because I feel like it's up in the air. Because I fully bought, and I do think we're getting Roman and Seth. Sorry, Sammy, especially after those boos last night, Sammy. I'm sorry, man. Like Triple H can see that. Doesn't matter. You're not ready for that main spot. But I really don't know with Cody. I still think you could just do Cody and Randy. I feel like they're almost starting to do like a long-term story with Randy. Like they did the King of the Ring thing, right? And then they did, now he's there with Drew. Like, I don't know.
I think Cody's coming back next week.
Yeah.
We're doing Drew and Randy next week. And I mean, I feel like you could do Cody, Drew, then maybe like some sort of like, I mean, you could do like a triple threat there or something.
Oh, that'd be really
like
good.
Maybe
too.
like Randy tries to like help Cody or something like that, or like for some reason they get into a triple threat and you do Cody versus Drew versus Randy.
Or I would love if like,
or just Drew wins one of these. Like, what if Drew just like beats Cody at Wrestlepalooza or something like that, due to like Randy trying to help Cody or something.
Well, yeah, and the triple threat too, like the way you could turn Randy is like, imagine if Randy hits the RKO and Drudy's about to win, but behind him like Cody hits him with the crossroads and like pins him. Like there's tons of good stuff. I just don't see the trajectory.
The belt back on Randy again.
Yeah.
What is he like? Oh, he'd be like 15 time, I think, or 16.
Yeah, I think he'd be 15. I think he's at 14 right now. Yeah, and you could do like, I just don't see, because at least with Seth, I see tons of options. Obviously, there's Sammy, there's Roman. You could even hotshot Braun if you want, right? He could win that. Like, no one can tell me otherwise. If Braun won, no one can tell me otherwise. If Braun won the Rumble, people would not be excited for Braun and Seth. Like, you could in a second make that a program, right? So with Seth, there's so many options. With Cody, like, I'm really just seeing Randy. I God fucking forbid, hope it's not like fucking Brock or something. Like, I could see them doing something. Like, we got Brock and Roman 3 times at WrestleMania. We already did the Cody and Brock trilogy, so I hope that's done. But I don't see anybody right now for Cody that isn't. Is it like there's no dream match scenario person? I know people keep throwing up Punk, but I don't see that. I don't see that either, in my opinion. I don't know. Like, don't get me wrong, I'd be down for that, because I think that'd be really intriguing on who would win, and I think they would. I don't know. I was gonna say they might turn Punk heel, but now the AJ back, it's like, nah, Punk's like a babyface for another year and a half at least. You know, like AJ's not gonna get booed, Punk's gonna get booed, so there's no point. So, yeah. I talked about it a little bit there. What is happening with Jade and Tiffany next week? Is Tiffany just beating her again?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think she's losing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't really know what happened. I mean, just
it's gonna have to be some type of crazy. This isn't gonna be a straight up match.
Shenanigans, yeah. Just because I remember, because like I said, I haven't watched. I mentioned, I put in the Discord, I'm like, why are they running this back? And I suppose you're like, well, there's not much of a women's SmackDown division, because she beat
Those
9.
are the only 3 like people in the like world title scene,
which is
crazy.
crazy.
Women on SmackDown.
Outside of the mid card, SmackDown's lacking.
Everyone else is just like mid card or low card for the women.
SmackDown's been lacking for almost a year now. They don't fucking care. Once they got that Netflix deal, I don't say they don't care, but they definitely like little brother, baby brother SmackDown. Like it does not feel like a big show.
Both the women's and men's title pictures are very much lacking. I mean, like we got Cody Rhodes as champion, but outside of Drew and sometimes they're Randy and sometimes they're Roman, like you really don't have any actual contenders for the world title. Same thing with the women's world title. Like outside of the mid card and the lower cards, like there's a lot to be desired with the SmackDown roster.
Yeah. Well, that's why I could see if it is Randy at WrestleMania, I could see that's why they're doing the story. They're just like, well, we're just going to tell a year-long story with Randy in a way, right? Because then it's like, well, then it's like, well, you could do, like Espop said, you could even do a match where Randy does the whole, just give me a shot for the title one more time, and he loses, and that's when he turns, or he cheats to win. Like, you could do that. Like, and I also see a scenario where Randy goes in WrestleMania champion, Cody is trying to get it again for a third time. Because now he had the year run, he lost it. You can start doing the stuff with Cody where he does a lot of hot potato and starts building that record up. Yeah. Like, I can legitimately see Randy winning.
I think I'll say, do I want to throw on? I'll say within... I don't know.
I agree with you. What you're going to throw down?
Within the next year, Randy wins the WWE Championship.
No, I agree with you 100%. It's happening. I think because like we just said, it's like okay, Drew and Randy. Obviously, they always swap people around, but there is, and even then in total, like that's why I said with the women's WrestleMania scene. I know people joked about this with Unreal, but it's like there's so many just like dogs in the arena that like there's 5 women I could say you could put
win as a face, or he like if he wins as a face right now, he would be like insanely over because he is already because he's Randy Orton, and then as a heel, if he's like punting people, you could get him as like a big heel.
And Randy's that guy of like if Seth or Cody went down with injury and it's like who do we put the title on? Randy's like a perfect like yep, just put it on him, right? As a baby face. But no, I think that's the trajectory. They do this for a little bit, but Randy's gonna win it in a heelish way, and I think they're just gonna do Randy and Cody at WrestleMania. Maybe Punk. Maybe I'm just not seeing it. I'm just curious what the angle like because to me if they do that, it's like I feel like CM Punk has to win that in a way. Like I don't know. It's
if Punk's not in the world title at Mania, just like let's say he's not, like what does he do at Mania? Fight whoever's the IC champ.
Well, remember those Rumbles a couple months ago of Austin, right?
Oh,
if that's happening, that to me that's easy, and it's like sorry Cody, sorry whoever, you're not main event the show tonight. Like Punk and Austin,
Cody, you're opening
you're curtain jerk. Like that's where
you
for me,
Randy,
that's where for me I need to hear once we get to like January, February, the status of Stone Cold. If there's any more scuttlebutt, because if it is, that's the like I would think Triple H. Again, I could also see Triple H being like, "Man, Brock and Austin's a big time." You know, like it's just like Brock is just such a because that's what. Again, take all the personal stuff out. That's what with Brock. It always sucked because like I felt he was past his prime and he always got one of those big slots, right? Barring the one WrestleMania where he versed almost, but like it'd always be like, "Oh, this would be a great spot for somebody." It's like, "Oh no, Brock's not." Like same thing. Brock and Roman 3 WrestleMania. So take everything else. That's where it's like. I always worry that anybody that has a match, like who was it this year? I feel like we were talking about someone that didn't have, like Sammy. I could feel like someone, they're looking at that card and like, we need a big match. And instead of doing something creative, it's like, well, we got Brock and that's a big thing. And that's the same thing.
Supposedly came to like the Sammy and Gunther
match right?
Mania, yeah, because it's supposed to be Gunther and Brock.
Which I understood, and I felt that, to me, in my opinion, should have been that Gunther beats him and becomes the new heavy big guy, or even whether it's Oba Femi, like somebody. But they're not doing that. Brock supposedly signed a new deal, so he's here for a while. So that's what I mean. My hope is Austin would be like, I can't fucking work with Brock. like Brock.
He didn't want to do it the first time.
Well, yeah, he does it again, but like Brock's like a stiff worker. Like I think Stone Cold wants someone safe. So I just feel like if and then let's take Austin out of it. I don't know, David. Do you have anybody? If it's not Cody or not Austin, do you have anybody for Punk at Mania? I feel like
he could just fight whoever is like the IC champ.
I think you could easily do Dom and Punk. I know it sounds dumb, but you could.
Dom and Punk would be so fun, and it would be even more fun because currently Dom is the longest reigning men's champion on the roster.
Oh God, yeah, and see that's the thing where
so if he makes it title, almost if he makes it the year and just that sniveling guy like that,
I think this year is I think it's a little before last year's. Like it's a little earlier, I think, date wise, maybe like a few days. So it'd be like
still if you say the calendar,
wins,
like
hold it for like a whole year.
Yeah, if you
no, it's later this year. So it's
WrestleMania's
yes,
later this year.
It's 2 weeks later this year. It's the 18th and the 19th. So he will have surpassed entire.
No, that's earlier. That's
last
earlier,
year was like the 20th and the 21st.
Yeah, because remember they had that extra build. WrestleMania 41 was the 20th. No, they were about the same time. They're only a few days, so it's the same build.
It's like
I'm
saying, like if he wins at WrestleMania, it'd be like he would pass a year.
They got to make sure it's night 2. They got to put it on night 2, and they can do some hour, 24-hour scuttlebutt. I'm fine if they say it's a year long.
So have Dom on the run for a year, and the quest to get a year, and CM Punk's the one who does that. I'm okay with that.
Which is funny because that'd be fun. Punk and Dom have been taking shots at each other like for a whole year, like they're building towards the match, and there's never been nothing. There's been nothing on Raw, like nothing kayfabe wise for them to.
Exclusive.
Yeah, it's just a house show shoot. I used to do that as a booker with my action figures back in the day. I had Raw and SmackDown, and then my house shows with the figures, it would be a cross-brand show, and it was like I had like fucking Hulk Hogan versus The Rock and versus Undertaker. Like you just go all out with the house shows.
And if they do this with Dom and his entrances and always using the mask and things like that, I need Punk to come out in his straight edge society mask.
Oh, you could get that. You're just trying to get that music again, David. I know what you're trying to do here.
I don't even need the music. I'm okay with the music. I want the straight edge society mask to come back. If Dom's going to be wearing that mask,
what if Dom wears it? What if Dom wears it as like a throwback? That'd be kind of fun, you know.
And I'll take it either way.
You know why you could do that is because on one of those like Elimination Chamber Rumbles, you could do Dom and Liv versus AJ and Punk as well. You could do that as like a good build match. And that's even I forgot about Liv. That's actually to me another great program. Like Liv and AJ is that to me is actually gonna have a top tier quality one, I think, and that's a great IC title, even main title one. So like easily at Chamber before WrestleMania, you could do Judgment Day versus AJ and Punk, and then you lead to Dom and Punk, and that's a
great
mid-card.
I think at Chamber 2023, it was Rhea and Finn versus Edge and Beth.
They did, yeah, because it was weird. They didn't.
That was the build to, and then Beth didn't wrestle again. I think.
No, they didn't. They never did the Rhea Beth 1-on-1. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's coming," but then obviously it worked out because Rhea won the title at WrestleMania, so it was all good. So they had other plans for it, but still. So, yeah, no, Punk and Dom to me is not a bad option. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else that you could do. I don't like I said. I think it's Cody, Dom, Austin. Maybe if they want, I don't even think Styles. I think Styles will get someone else for his retirement match because I know his contract's up at February, but I think they'll extend it to WrestleMania and he'll at least be a Mania. I know everyone's getting excited again. I'm not getting excited. It's like the other AJ thing. Like I want him to go to AEW, but I just, I don't really want that, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think there's tons of fun stuff, but it's not happening.
And I guess going back specific to AJ Lee, I think supposedly Bailey is coming back like on Raw this week, so I wonder what they
that
do
could
there.
honestly, you could make that the first Raw match back, like because that's big. But for me, I think the Roxanne one has a bit more juice there, but they could flip them and do that, and Bailey and AJ. That's a tag team title.
I wonder with this character. I mean, if she comes back like as the hugger character, like.
Oh right, yeah. Well, in the last shirt AJ wore in her last match was that. So there you go. So that could be fun. So let's see here. It's Wrestlepalooza we talked about. So we got the tag. They're obviously going over. There's no surprise there. We got Brock and Cena. That's officially happening. Last night you had Sammy and Cena, which was
no stip on that. I mean, maybe it gets
they
added.
Need a stip. They need us. They need.
That was a supposed rumor from like everyone that's like, yeah, it's gonna be a stip match. But...
Yeah, I don't know what else they could do there, but Sami Zayn announced he's doing the Open Classic now, bringing that back. So that's fun. They had a very fun match, very like a 2K type of match, just like crazy finishers and whatnot.
And like I said, I need this full Cena moveset on 2K26. Like, where just like all of his normal moves are like someone else's finisher.
Yeah, even if not, just go in and edit it so you can just
That'd be
give
the
that
true
run,
Super Cena.
Yeah, it would
Because
be,
right
so.
now, because there already is in the 2K games, you can get the invisible Cena, which is like the two. I mean, I'd be fine if they kept like the invisible Super Cena and then gave him like this moveset. Just have like the true Super Cena.
Yeah, no, that'd be that. I would love that if there's like a other version of it. But yeah, it's a fun match. But yeah, Brock got in there. They're doing this. I think unfortunately Brock's gonna go over because I think Cena's on his way out, and they're gonna use this as like to build Brock back up and give him a win. I don't think this whole Brock's just back for one match. I do appreciate that Cena at every turn has made sure to mention that he has not picked his opponents because clearly he saw that comment was like, "Fuck you, Paul." Like you're not putting that on. Like, oh, Cena it's his time, and we're just trying to do what's best for John. You know, you mother like Triple H, man. He's such a
That's why I said he
conniver.
didn't get to end his stuff in Boston because he's like, oh, where you gonna throw me under the bus? Cool. You know what? You're ending in New York now.
Yeah, it was DC.
You don't get
It's
that
Washington,
Boston.
DC. That's where
Yeah,
he's going
you
now.
don't
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
get that Boston send off. You're ending it where we take you. Like I can't believe they had a bidding war for Cena's
Yeah.
final match.
It's odd, but I guess it's the TKO. But yeah, I think Brock goes over, and I think it's at most a
I think
3-star
Cena.
match.
I think Cena wins. I don't
You
think
think so?
Cena's losing until his retirement, like match.
Okay.
Because I mean, I feel like all these matches he could, especially if he's wrestling at Crown Jewel, unless he's just wrestling Brock again to beat him. Like I
Oh
don't think
God!
he's losing to
Don't
Brock.
do that. Don't even put that out in the ether. A 2
That's what I'm
series.
saying. Like I think he just beats him like the first time.
Okay. What about
Especially
you?
like has he beat Brock in like the last couple of times he's fought him?
When Brock first came back,
I
Cena
know
did
he beat him the
him,
first time,
and
but-
then after that, Brock
Yeah.
won all the other ones. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I guess
he-
you're
he,
right.
he beat him in
wins.
the SummerSlam match, that first return, and then after that, yeah, it was just
Rumble.
straight
I
up.
think they had one other rematch too at some point. So, yeah. What about you, David? You're the tiebreaker, but I think I suppose that's convinced me that Cena's gonna. But that's why I think they got to do no DQ, so Brock loses by some sort of weapon or something. But
If there is no stipulation, it's Brock winning. If there is a stipulation, then Cena's going to find a way to win. But if it's no stipulation, then I think Brock is just, they're going to have Brock just kind of destroy him, build back up that ore, because it's rumored that Brock has signed another deal, which at first it was, well, we're bringing
deals,
Brock
man.
back because we're paying him already, so
we're
we
paying him
might
just
as
to sit
well
at
use
home.
him.
Yeah, he's fucking.
But
bum.
now it's coming out that hey, they've signed him for more dates, and if that's the case, then you're not paying this man even more money to just not use him.
Yeah. And then we talked about this Stephanie versus Io. Yeah, I always thought Stephanie was winning this. I thought they were going to give Naomi like a smaller run because that's fine, that character. But obviously she's gone since our show. She's gone. It's her and Io. And I guess I could put it back on Io to be safe, but I just feel like there's probably more juice with her and Kabuki and her and Asuka, and there's other stuff they can do. And I just feel like they give it to Stephanie, and like even though there's
Asuka like cost her in some way.
I don't really want that for Stephanie's first win, but it could happen. It could with the way they've been booking stuff. I would just prefer Io losing than the aftermatch beatdown of kind of like you're nothing, and then Rhea comes in and makes the pop save. I don't know, but yeah, I could.
I was gonna say I feel like there's just the option of they just have like a 20-minute match where it's like you just like better wrestler and then the attack afterwards.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping because that's been my complaint. We haven't got that was the start of the trend was that DQ finish after Raw. But I know they're gonna have a great match. But yeah, I think Stephanie is getting it, and like I said, I'm still pitching Stephanie and Rhea at WrestleMania. I think it's happening. But I suppose you think Stephanie's taking it?
I have to say I think so. Yeah, I think she's winning it.
David?
Yeah, I agree. For where you're trying to build them up, I don't see any other option.
Okay. Is there anything else in Wrestlepalooza confirmed?
Nope.
Not confirmed.
Not with 2 weeks left.
Yeah.
Meltzer said that it's going to be the Usos versus Braun and Bronson.
Right.
But then he's also said that Drew and
He's been booking Drew and Randy a lot.
Drew and Cody is happening at Clash. Then he said, actually, Drew and Randy's being added to Clash. And then now he said Drew and Cody's not happening at Wrestlepalooza either. But now I think Drew and Randy's happening next week. Cody returns, and then they're doing Cody Drew at Wrestlepalooza is what I'm thinking. So I think
Street Fighter's fucking up Big Dave over here. You know, he has his days. But okay, so yeah, one of those could be added. So yeah, we'll see. But honestly, like, even if it's just a 5-match card, they got Brock, they got AJ, so that sells that card. AJ, I imagine AJ, the mixed tag's going last, right? That's gotta go last.
No, I think Brock and Cena's probably gonna go last.
What? They're gonna have Brock and Cena go last over AJ's return in 10 years?
I think with them setting it up at SummerSlam, I thought that's what I was assuming. God.
What a pill to swallow.
I think the tag goes last. I think Brock last. I think maybe, depending on what the rest of the card gets announced, I could see Brock and Cena opening.
Yeah, I'd rather have the tag in the main event, but I think it's going to be Brock and Cena.
Because history with Brock, if he ain't main eventing, he's opening and he's out
of there. Yeah, that is true.
He's on his way home, so...
And I guess it depends because I feel like if he wins, like, I don't know, maybe some people will be excited.
This is your first ESPN event. Brock Lesnar is going to bring in more casual fans than you will with AJ Lee. AJ Lee is bringing in the wrestlers and bringing in the lapsed wrestling fans. Brock Lesnar versus Cena is bringing in the casual, more of the, hey, I recognize these names.
Yeah. And then was there anything before we move on? Anything from Clash you guys wanted to talk about? I enjoyed Roman Bronson. That was good. The tag, that was a SmackDown tag. Becky and Bella was not good.
That was awful. That table spot,
the missed kick. Just sometimes, if I was Becky, I was like, you can't put me back in that position again. Like, again, this is where I know there's that whole weird controversy about with Barrett and Nikki and all this stuff. But it's like, I don't think what he said was wrong. Like, that was, and that's why I even said at the beginning of the show, I said that about AJ, where it's like, she didn't wrestle that type of style. So she was a better wrestler than Nikki Bella, don't get me wrong, but she still was never on that type of style. Granted, she hadn't been around, but the thing is, Nikki Bella has still popped up since then and shown, like, okay, she can adapt. And that's what we'll see what happens with AJ. But with Nikki, it's just like, she can't go work a 13 match with Becky. I'm sorry, that's just not what you can do. Rusev and Sheamus was tons of fun. I actually really liked Cena and Logan Paul. I think they went a little long in the middle because he wasn't using a headlock, but there was like a 5-minute portion of just Logan like stomping on Cena. I was like, oh, he's seen some Randy Orton matches, but like. So what was that? That was 26. I honestly think if that was 21 minutes, it would have like bumped it up. But I actually think that's what like. It might be Paul's best match in WWE, which is weird because I know there's other stuff like the Ricochet and some of the other spots, but I just thought there's some good character stuff going on. And other than the ending, the main event of the whole 4-way was something felt off. That whole match, like, I actually on paper thought LA Knight, Jey Uso, CM Punk, and Seth were gonna have a really fun match, and it felt very house showy. Like, I don't know, it just something was like. That did not feel like a main event. Just something was not working. So whoever put together that match, something was off. I thought Clash in Paris was like a good show. I would give it like a 3.5. Not there. I think there was definitely some stuff you could cut, but that's where I was. I was like a 3.5.
Roman and Bronson. And
I thought it was a good time. Yeah, I liked it. I didn't mind it. Like, I think it went too long. Don't get me wrong. I think the problem of
22
the bell
minutes.
Rings. Yeah, and that's a match.
Like,
there's a lot of Roman.
Yeah, the thing I was thinking is, like, when's the last time Roman has worked a match, like, not like it's, like, the WWE Championship main event? I was thinking, like, he's going to go long with Bronson.
Oh, yeah,
like, when's the last time he hasn't done this style? Like 6 years ago.
Yeah, the only times he would not have main evented the show was when it's like he's in the 4-way on the Rumble or something. Like, that's the only time. So it's always that type of style. And I don't get me wrong, I understand some of it because, like, Roman Reigns wrestling is an event. I think it just went like a little too long. Like, they just like took too much time. And I also was surprised about the Paul Heyman thing, that I guess maybe he doesn't want to take a spear, but to me the big pop was Roman getting his hands on Paul, and when he put him in the guillotine, Like the crowd cheered, but it was not like a huge. It was like, oh, okay. Like I wish Paul
I
just
think
like
the reason now for
we're
the
wanting Superman punch or spear, something
at
like
least a
that
punch,
knockout
you know?
blow.
yeah, I think with the Heyman is actually like for a specific reason because when they mentioned his injury, they said it was like a larynx injury or something. And I think with them now having like Braun and Bronson on their own and like talking, I think it's to give them a reason why they'll talk for themselves. It'll be like, oh, Heyman's voice is like hurt and he can't talk or something.
All right. No, you're not wrong, but it's just like such like just Spear him say he has broken ribs and he can't be there. You know, like that's all you got to do. But it's just such like, well, he can't physically talk, but that's fine. But yeah, David, what do you think about Clash in Paris overall?
I agree with you. Like it was a solid show, but there were some like the Becky Nikki Bella match could have been cut a little bit for time. Some of the spots could have been cut. Again, that table spot that I was referencing earlier, that went too long. Like when it was first just going, I was like, okay. Then she switched and did another table. Then she switched back to. I was like, this is
only LA Knight can pull that one off.
Yeah, can we stop? The Rusev Sheamus, as fun as it was, I felt like it went too long as well. It was 20 minutes. I felt like
probably a little, yeah.
They could have done that in 15 and still had a good hard hitting match. John Cena and Logan Paul was 26 minutes. And I felt like, again, some of that could have got shaven off just a little bit.
The interesting thing about this is, like, I did notice, yeah, a lot of matches went a lot longer than I expected. But then also just the show in general just kind of had, like, I didn't feel like there was that many, like, ads or video packages, like, in between. It was sort of like, you had this long match, you went to, like, one commercial, and then you came back already to the next match.
Yeah, so this show went a lot, as we said, you know, when we started off the show, this went a lot longer than either of us expected. I was actually shocked by the time. That's why when I was messaging you guys, I'm like, look, we had something come up. I'm going to be, because I'm still thinking it's going to be a shorter show, and then boom, we
we're
get almost
conditioned to like
2.5
show. Unless it's like one of the big five, because I count Money in the Bank in there. Unless it's one of those, we're conditioned to that. Usually they're 2.5, maybe three if they go a little longer. So, you know, but no, they went like almost 4 hours there. So, which is fine. I don't mind. I agree with people that sometimes these cards are way too small, and you have so much talent, and people are paying some good money. Let them watch some wrestling, you know.
But in the middle of a day, in the middle of college football season, in the middle of the start of college football season, I was like, you guys went with a 4-hour show. Jeez. But the Fatal 4-Way match, now that one, it went almost 25 minutes, but that one was fun. I would give them all props to that. They had some fun spots with that as well. So yeah, I'd give it about a 3.5.
Yeah,
I'm like at a 3, but I do have to give LA Knight
the whole
credit
show at a
for
3?
that. Or no, the match. I mean,
I
thought you were talking about the
that was a tough
4-way.
watch for S-Bubs.
Yeah, for the whole show.
3 Clash in Paris.
For the whole show, I don't know. Yeah, like out of 5, maybe like a 3.5 or 7.5 or something like that. Like I still thought it was pretty enjoyable. I guess talking more specifically about the Fatal 4-Way match again, I do have to give LA Knight credit for the elbow drop through the table, because I didn't think he was that felt like one of those spots where like they go up to the top rope to like do something crazy, and you're like, well, they're not actually gonna do it.
Oh, he missed it.
Like,
they stopped him. Yeah, again, this man's doing that in a match where he's not even winning the title. You know, like he's just putting his body on the line. You know. Yeah.
I was just looking through Twitter again. Have you seen like all the stuff, the Sasha Banks stuff with Triple H, like the captions for this AJ Lee stuff? It's like, you can always come home and stuff like that. And like when she was signing the contract, it's like, yeah, you know, we'll always have home for you to come back and stuff like that. Like we know who he wants.
It's so funny. That's how like I guess must not be plugged in, because I just saw that. I never even thought of Sasha. Like I never like. And we
There's
all know
a tweet with like 40K likes. That's like, you know exactly who he's.
I saw the tweet, and that's when I got on the it's Sasha and stuff, which like she might go back. I think it all depends on stuff, right? It's like, sure, this stuff's great now, but we talked about before. It's like just in the last year, fucking Bailey was not making on the SummerSlam or WrestleMania cards, right? In like a weird way, and like we got to see the also booking, because I said this before, where they're very much in the hype moments right now. Let's see how it goes. Where Monet is like, I don't think she's like what people say is like getting creative control, but she's definitely, I think, has a say and stuff, and she's having a good time over there, right? So, and same thing, like if Bailey were to leave, we'll see the next couple of years. It's always ebbs and flows. You never know which way it's going to go, right? Like even Cody
it's
Adams.
It's a 50-50 where she's like main event in AEW and like winning the title, or even if she does go to AEW, there's like, she's getting the 3-week title push and then Collision, 8-woman tags.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Where even a year ago when we were doing this cast, I thought for sure Moxley would be on his way out. But then after the whole Death Rider saying, like, nah, he's staying for a while now. Because I just feel like you never know what the bookers and the promoters and how they feel in one moment. Because, that Bailey stuff sucks. But then years from now, next year, if they fucking give Bailey and AJ this massive match at WrestleMania, all right, you feel a little bit better. Like, you can never know what's going to happen with these wrestlers. So that's why it's like there's certain ones, like with AJ, I feel like, I think he's going to be a AEW lifer or a WWE lifer where he's going to be a coach stuff, and he's talked about that before, right? Where even like Jericho, we know, I think he's on his way out because that's a for sure one. Because it's like, take out people kind of being tired with him, there's just literally nothing for him to do at AEW right now. There's nothing. Like, take out how you feel about him being washed up. Like, just say, even if let's say he was the best wrestler in the world, there's nothing. He's done it all, right? Like there's nothing left. So that's why going to WWE for him is the best thing for him.
Said, what can Cody do at Mania? There's nothing for Cody at Mania.
No.
He's curtain jerking with Jericho for
I still said
Austin main event.
I'm completely fine with him and Randy. I just think there's some people that view that as not wrestle. Like I feel like there's two camps. There's people that view that as major WrestleMania, and people like, no, that's like Randy's not on that level now. Like I think it's fine. I think it's fine for Cody, who's main evented the last 3 WrestleManias, to have a WrestleMania off. Like, hey, and even then, they could still close a show. They could close night 1. Like people will be into that match as long as Randy doesn't go fucking headlock McGraw and just like
he will. It's a main event of Mania. You know he will.
Well, yeah, WrestleMania 25.
Good old main event wrestled.
So, like, don't get me wrong. No, there's still, and Cody has a bunch of stuff, but with Jericho, there's more he can do in WWE. Even though if I was WWE, I'd say, you know what, we will offer you a Legends deal. We'll do the Rumble spot. We'll have you appear. But I would not.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Hall of Fame. I would not have Jericho as a full-time performer. There's so many people on the roster, but for, unless they're just very much into the whole, like, we got to stick it to AEW. It's like, please, you're stick it to us, please. It's like
get him on Stephanie McMahon's podcast to bury AEW.
Oh yeah. It just wasn't what it used to be, right? It wasn't what it used to be. Which again, we'll see what happens because obviously SmackDown low ratings, but AEW had below 500. I hate this. I feel like I know I saw Espo's tweet about John Drawley or Droxley or whatever the name you gave him, but like. I feel like when the AEW fans are complaining, including myself, and we got bad stuff going on, ratings are like fine or building. Like there was those stats of like, oh look, when Moxley was champ, was building. And now I legitimately feel, because this happened, yesterday was the anniversary of Punk's 4 years return at Derby. That time was the best time in AEW that night, right? Everyone jokes and memes about it, but still like, the night Punk came back and we got Bryan and Adam Cole in AEW, that was the peak. But that whole year, up until Hangman winning the title from Omega, that's like peak AEW. I don't think it's there, but I feel like it's the best since then overall AEW. I've been watching full-time again, everything. Sometimes I can't watch Collision because that Saturday slot is just a death slot. But like, I hate that they've like us hardcore fans, like, please give Hangman all this stuff. And it's like, oh yeah, now we got these bad ratings. Like, fuck. Like, and I hope it's like, well, we got to shake up and do something. It's like, I feel like that always happens in AEW. When their quality's good, their ratings start to go down. And then when it's bad, their ratings go up. But I never understood why 6 months ago when Mox was champ were the ratings going up. And I don't know. And that's the thing.
For the MJF babyface title run once again.
It could be one more time. It could be, congrats to him getting married. So, but yeah, we'll see. But anything else we talk about? Clash? Anything else WWE? We'll get the draft points. But anything WWE related we haven't talked about? Yes, Bubs. Who's the first person you booked Jericho with?
First person I booked Jericho with, like if I'm doing he's doing like what we did with AJ, like match on Raw, or like
his return match. No, I'll give you this. What's his WrestleMania match? Can't be a tag. Has to be a singles. David, same question to you. Can't be a tag. Has to be a singles. No multi-man stuff. It's Jericho versus somebody.
It could be the same thing. Like, I guess this would be the world where Punk's fighting Austin. You know,
Oh,
Jericho.
God.
Jericho. You know, he used to work with someone young. You know, he's gonna put them over by beating them, but he's gonna put them over.
Oh, I thought you were pitching him and Punk for a second. It's like, what are you doing right now? You're pitching Punk.
Because before I said Punk and Dominic, but I said, well, if Punk's fighting Austin, then Jericho will fight Dominic for the IC title because he has the most IC titles or whatever.
You know, Jericho has some stupid mustache name gimmick and everything.
He'll come out as he'll have a new gimmick, a new character.
He'll make fun of it all. Yeah, no,
yeah.
Dom, that's a good one. I won't pick that. That's a good one. What about you, David? You got anybody? I'm trying to think right now.
So I've got 3 different options for 3 different reasons.
Okay.
So, he said it's on WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's WrestleMania. Big time match for Y2J.
Okay, so big time match number 1
WrestleMania night 3. We're going 3 nights this time.
Is instead of NXT having their own thing that weekend, they are part of WrestleMania. It's him versus Ethan Page. Ethan Page comes out talking about he's the greatest in all of North America.
Yeah,
you got Canadian versus Canadian
champion ever. Yeah. I'm seeing
that's the one. That's the one that makes sense.
Triple H sending him to NXT on Mania weekend.
You're on WrestleMania NXT. Bow.
And he's not going in the Hall of Fame because Cena is headlining. You know, we'll save it for next year.
Yeah.
Number 2, the one I want, just because I want to see him get the bricks beaten off of him, is him versus Gunther.
I was thinking that one too, honestly.
I just want to see that chest caved in one good time.
Didn't like it was kayfabe, but Jericho tweeted Gunther, right? Like he wouldn't chop me or something like something like it was like not a real thing, but yeah, you could do that. Okay.
Yes, and the last one is, again, he likes putting people over. Somebody who decided to
putting people over.
Somebody who could use another WrestleMania moment, who took the pin last time and is going to be the one doing the pin this time. Joe Hendry.
Oh God!
Then you start the Y2 Joe Hendry tag team.
Yeah, the connection. Yeah. Well, yeah. To go back, that my 2 pitches are just for the hell of it. They give him AJ again. Like here's your big last, last final match. Remember Y2 AJ? And then I could even see them spinning it, and AJ be like, "Yeah, well, it was my first WrestleMania match, and now it's my last." So I just feel like there's a full circle moment. My real pitch, and even though I think this match could be deadly bad, even though I don't think he's that bad. You know, a couple years ago, we were at the Money Bank press conference when Triple H said, "Just wait, we got big things for this guy." I'm pitching LA Knight. I'm pitching LA Knight versus Y2J. I think the promos and stuff could be fun, but I think that match could be real bad. But I could see they're like same thing. It's like a Brock thing. We have nothing for LA. He lost last year. Well,
come out as the Painmaker.
Oh God! No Painmaker.
Painmaker entrance at Mania.
Yeah.
Now, if he's healthy enough, I would like the WrestleMania match we were cheated out of, and that'd be Kevin Owens.
I don't think Kale's gonna be healthy enough.
Yeah. He's like, I can't. I my neck still hurts. Sorry, Triple H. I can't do Jericho.
I got to delay surgery a few more months. Oh, I don't know. Dr. Andrew Pavilion said you're good to go. No, I just not feeling it. So
he's asking Daniel Bryan. He's like, "Hey, who are those doctors you went to?" He's like, "Oh, the ones who passed me." No, the first set of doctors, the one who wouldn't pass you. What are their names?
The ones that made you go sit in the tubes for months, like those guys.
I need to go. I need a note from them.
Yeah. So no, I think they'll save Jericho. I think Jericho Rumble is locked. As long as his contract's done, that's a lock.
I guess here's a real question. Does he use break the walls down,
yes,
or does he use Judas?
I think he uses break the
walls down.
And will he
perform Judas at WrestleMania?
You're putting out some dangerous stuff, monkey paw stuff in this episode. No, I think he uses break the walls down at first. I could always see him changing to Fozzy, but I think at first you go for the pop because, again, there are millions of people that don't even know what AEW is or watch it. They're just WWE fans, right? So if you hear that Foz music hit, the pop is not the same as break the wall. You know,
Yeah,
that's
and I think,
what you want.
Number 30, and then it goes into like the glitch screen and the
Yes.
countdown. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Could you see them doing like a half and half where they start off with the countdown, the break the walls down before fading into Judas?
You could act. Oh, that's actually a good idea. You break the wall and you play like the first 15 seconds. You wait for a beat and then and you get the crowds. You could do that just to get that first pop. You know, that's not a bad combo.
You get the pop. You get everyone going. Holy crap! Is it him? And then you transition into the music that he's going to be using going forward.
Yeah, because to counter my earlier argument, there is still enough hardcore fans. Like when Cody came back to WWE and his music hit, everyone knew who it was, right? That was a big difference but even then, Jericho's still a big deal. So I'm countering my counter, but we've already spent too long on Jericho on the gimmick. We'll talk about him again in January. Espos, hey, fuck, he might be on my roster come time Survivor Series just to get those points. So maybe I will be talking about Jericho soon. And yeah, I guess I didn't say at the beginning. Our next episode, we're going to aim to do the Sunday after on September 20th, because on Saturday we got All Out, which we're going to talk about, and then we got Wrestlepalooza. So yeah, we got 2 big shows. We'll talk about them.
Yeah, we forgot to mention that All Out moved to earlier in the day.
Thank God. I know it's, again, wrestling community are so black and white. There's he buckled. People
Have
down
you
for
seen
me.
the Brian Alvarez, Dave Meltzer argument about this? I actually do agree with Brian. So Dave was like saying like, yeah, it's a better business decision because you don't know how much money they're gonna lose on pay-per-views unless they tried it out. And if they try it out and they lose like $300,000, then we shouldn't have done that. But then Brian was saying like he doesn't think there's a single person who's an AEW fan who buys the pay-per-views the like full price who would rather watch the WWE show. Like if you're someone who buys the pay-per-views, and then Dave was like, "No, they're gonna lose like $300,000," and they argued about this for like
Dave will
40
never
minutes.
He will never relent.
And they just went back and forth about this for like 40 minutes. But that was the crux of the argument.
I think there's some truth to that, because for me, it always goes in ebbs and flows, right? But usually I lean AEW because I usually get a better, on the pay-per-views, I feel like there's better wrestler quality from bell to bell. I think AEW has problems when they go too long. Sometimes the matches get too samey when you have 3 matches in a row with people kicking out of finishers.
I think they're going to overlap, probably.
They're going to overlap. I think they're going to end right before... I could see the match ending, like the AEW main event ending a few minutes into the WWE main event, like just a little bit, but not too much. And it would be funny. Like I kind of hope they do the tag, because I think they're gonna run the Christian Edge as the main event. I think.
Yeah.
And then they could do the mixed tag. So it'd be funny if they both had the tags going last, Because Hangman and Fletcher are not main event and All Out. That's not happening. Rio and Monet is not main eventing All Out. They have no fucking opponent for Toni Storm because she's beat everybody. That's somebody that I do worry about.
I think the people are speculating that it might be like Thekla, because she's been like pinning her in the 8-woman tags on Collision.
I shouldn't laugh. I've liked Tekla, but I just feel the reason I laugh is because Tekla's not fucking beating Toni Storm. That's the thing where Tony's in a
shock win and put the belt on Thekla. She's on all the posters for AEW. They released like 3 months of posters, and she's like one of the people in the front.
Maybe they will. And I think that's what they might need to do. Or what I would say is in a month or 2, they should build Bane back up and have Bane actually beat her. But because Toni Storm, I think, is in an interesting situation where I think she is an AEW lifer, but I think the problem is she is eventually going to run out of stuff to do there. Like, I think what they gave her, Timeless Tony and all this stuff, and even then, I think some of the gimmick you can do in WWE and some of that gimmick you can't. She'd have to very watered down. That would be the definition of a watered down gimmick, because half of her gimmick is sexual innuendos and being gay. It's like, you can't do any of that in WWE. Like, they'll give you the big car and the black and white, but the other stuff, and I think Tony knows that, and I bet TK's pay, like, come contract renewal, like, she's getting a big payout from Tony Khan. So I don't see her going anywhere, but it's the same thing. Like, I do think she needs to, I wouldn't be opposed to like a shock win. And even then you could have Sky Blue and Julia Hart like do some interference. Like, there's ways out there. And I've liked Tekla so far, even though every fan told me she was going to be a nightmare in AEW. I ended up enjoying her work so far,
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, they have that going on. Oh, that's what we were saying though, is I I would have been in a very tough position if the tags were going on at the same time, because I grew up with Edge and Christian, but then AJ being back is more appealing. I think I probably would have watched the whole AEW pay-per-view, but I probably would have went over to WWE to watch AJ, because the problem is they already gave me Edge and Christian on Forbidden Door, right? They kind of showed me a little bit of that. It's not the FTR match, but a little bit. But I personally do think they're smart for just like hype and the internet, and they don't get overwhelmed of like the chatter. And I do think if there's anybody that is in the middle that has like not a preference of WWE AEW, that does help. And I think it's a very small Venn diagram, but there is somebody out there that was like, I'm very torn, not sure what I'm going to do. But yeah, I would have watched AEW and then came back to WWE. I'm just happy as a fan that like I'm going to watch them both, and then I can watch them both that day. That's a long day of wrestling. I don't like that for myself. I don't like that for my family, but I'll, I'll make sure they're going to go have some fun at like this, like grandparents or something. That's a good day where it's like, hey, you guys should do some with another family member. But, Espos, do you have something to say?
No, I kind of agree. I'm super happy that they move the times on these so that I can be able to enjoy both. I do wonder if AEW is going to run a little bit long so that they run into the opening of WWE, like things have happened before. But,
right, yeah, it's that early, right? I thought it was. I said main event. Yeah, no, I guess I forgot AEW is like right in the afternoon now. So
but either way, I think it's also great for wrestling fans. I mean, it's more revenue, and to Brian Hour's point, like I don't think there's anyone who was going to buy one who was like, oh, now if they're at the same time, I have this whole crisis of which one I'm going to watch. No, if you're the type to drop $50 on AEW, you're going to drop $50 on AEW.
Yes,
if you've already dropped $30 on ESPN Plus, then you're going to watch it on ESPN Plus. Like wherever you were going to do, you're still going to do, whether they're going head to head or not.
Yeah, so we got that. And we'll be back in 2 weeks to talk about that. S-Bubs, you got those draft points before we get to AEW and then our fantasy show.
Okay, let's see here. So we have David with 338 points total. Then you have Travis with 644 points total. And then I have 622 points. So Travis is in the lead right now.
Hell yeah, I'm happy about that. David, what's going on with your roster? What happened to your people? Your 300, what's going on?
You didn't get the surprise debuts like we did.
That's true, we did have
my problem is like half my people are either gone or injured or hurt. Like, play the Tarantino clip for me. Like, that's how I'm feeling right now with my roster.
They are going out of their way to fuck me.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, we currently leave. We got lots of stuff though. You got AJ on the roster. We got Jericho coming up, and Survivor Series will be the next time we switch over. So we got that going on. So okay, that's exciting time. So we'll see what happens there. David, you might need to make some changes to catch us up.
I'm definitely gonna have to make some changes because man, I've been getting just destroyed.
Yeah, you're gonna have to draft. Your draft list's gonna be like
all debuts, all debuts. One main eventer and then 9 debuting superstars.
Just anybody whose contract is coming up from AEW, you're just gonna have to draft. Mm-hmm. But then also, there's the big changes of the Rumble wins and Chamber wins at the end of the year.
True.
If you get those, that could be like 200, 300 points.
Yeah. Well, speaking of AEW, right now we just got 3 matches. We kind of already we talked about 2 of them. I don't know what we need to say about the Hurt Syndicate versus Ricochet and the Gates of Agony, which I guess they're still around. There was some question if they had a year contract. Who knows what's going on there? But they had. I'm glad they lost the tag titles. I don't know. I never understand. I've said this about everybody. Them, Rusev, Aleister Black, like these people that, in my opinion, they add to the roster, but they are not the big needle movers. When they supposedly have these issues like I won't work or lose with X, Y, and Z, it's like, what? Like I've never, even for the memes with Adam Copeland, I don't think he is actually Adam Copeland Hogan, but I can understand him protecting his brand, and I think he actively adds merchandise sales, tickets. People have bought a ticket to see Adam Copeland. I don't know if anyone's bought a ticket to see Aleister Black or Rusev or the Hurt Syndicate that wasn't already going to AEW. And I don't even think like Hurt Syndicate versus Ricochet and Gates of Agony, like that's not a pay-per-view match. That's like a pre-show. That's a zero brawl in whatever they're doing now. Like what does the Hurt Syndicate have? Have they threatened Tony's life? Does he feel scared again for his life? Because here's the thing, which I was very surprised about, and I'm on the bandwagon where one of my favorite tag team tropes is big guy and high flyer. Like I was back in the day, I was a huge RVD and Kane tag team fan. I loved that team so much. So Bro Dito, they legitimately, I don't have too many TV matches on my match of the year. Their match they had with the Young Bucks a couple weeks ago is in my match of the year list. It was incredible. And they have this great chemistry. It's such a fun, just like very odd pairing of like the tattooed big heavy metal guy with the luchador cowboy. Like it's like Woody and Buzz. Like it makes no sense at all, but it works. So, and they did this thing where Bro Dito won the tag titles. Great for them. That's cool. If they are not on the card and the Hurts, because I would have understood if FTR was tag team champs, right? Because it's tag team champs versus ENC. I'm still calling them ENC. Then I get it. But if Bro Dito's not on the card, but you got Hurtson on the card, you'll get a rant on the day when we do our review that
day. I feel like Tony always, loads up. I feel like they'll fight someone.
I hope, but like, he wasn't loading up when Private Practice or Private Party was the tag champions, right? They got one pay-per-view, and then they were...
the match wasn't even about them. It was about the Acclaimed breakup.
Yeah.
So a good friend of mine had mentioned that he feels like with the booking from the last year, Tony Khan heard everyone's claims of racism over in the Fed, and now Tony's over here saying, "Look, I've got this one black friend, so I'm not a racist."
You guys you like to sing "We Hurt People," right? You like that,
So that's why he's trying to keep all of his African American wrestlers happy, booked up, even if they are not needle movers. Because honestly, again, there's nothing about the Hurt Syndicate, and I like Bobby Lashley. I like Shelton Benjamin, but they are not reasons for me to tune in.
Yeah, and that's to me like a perfect 0 hour collision like for the pay per view. This is like a bathroom break, and don't get me wrong, and it's again weird. I like what Ricochet has done. I like that they tied back the whole bully angle. That's why he cost them the tag titles. But same thing, Ricochet and this heel character was finally really getting over this like nerdy psychopath. And then they just like iced him. He's been like cutting promos and on like collision. It's just like he was getting over. They gave him like a random pay-per-view match with Mark Briscoe. That happens a lot of times with, I've said this before, when stuff organically gets over. It's like Tony doesn't know what to do with it. He works good if it's like, I want this to get over, and then it gets over. Granted, when the Hangman thing happened last year, he did pivot. So I think he's getting a little bit better, but this match, could be a bathroom break for me. We'll see. But like I said, Bro Dito better be on this fucking card. And I don't know who I'd be down for as the Young Bucks, because I absolutely love the Young Bucks gimmick. They're one of my favorite characters right now. I said this in our Discord, and you can hear it on the shows. It's starting to happen in the crowds where people are starting to cheer for him again, because it's like a couple years ago when they did that Baron Corbin broke gimmick.
Even the Max Caster thing.
Yes.
Like just him being like a complete loser got him over.
Yeah, and where's Anthony Bowens right now? He came back with a new theme song in a Battle Royal.
He turned heel now, or they did like a double turn. Yeah, on like a collision. Like he did like the open challenge, and then like Max Caster did it, and then like Bowens came out and just started like beating him down like nonstop, and like Billy Gunn I think like ran out and stopped. Like they did a double turn on a collision.
Yeah,
and like they haven't been seen since then.
Bowens pushed Gunn and things like that. It was one of those.
But yeah, they just did it on collision, like the double turn.
Yeah,
that's so weird. And I like Bowens. I think he's like decent on the mic.
But
he's good in
the
the
face
ring.
thing just like didn't. I mean, I don't even think it was his fault. Like he was getting like no reaction, but it's because like he wasn't like beating anyone or doing anything.
And that's the point. It's kind of like the Timeless Tony thing, where Young Bucks, after they did the whole like losing the EVP stuff, I was in the sense of like, okay, they won the titles, they've been heels and babyface multiple times. Like, what do you do with the Bucks? Like, they are in that state of like, I even feel that sometimes with Kenny, it's like they're not going to go to WWE, but it's like, almost to freshen up or even go back to New Japan for a bit. But this gimmick is working. This like I love on AEW this week they had a montage. So they're back on the indies doing like signings. Like, oh, we're back here. I hate like all these people smell and we got to sign autographs and we're only getting $20 for this. Like, I love this stupid gimmick of the whole graphics is whatever. That's fine. It gets a little overdone, but like I love just all that stuff. If they don't got merch, they got to go back and sell T-shirts after the show.
What always make me laugh the most is like when people go looking for them and they're like in the extras locker room.
Yeah. It's good stuff. Like so I think they will eventually get over. I could see even Bro Dito getting them at this show. You got Monet. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, I think you got Monet and Rio, which will be a good match, but Rio's not winning. I think both Monet and Tony are in a situation where, like, Athena was the person, and then Athena got beat by them both. So I really don't know. I think
Athena
Megan Bain
hasn't been seen on Dynamite since then. I think she's on ROH again.
Yeah, she passed 1,000 days, so good for her. But like, I don't know, Athena to me that was the perfect person to beat one of them, and I don't know. I really don't know what they're doing with the women. Don't get me wrong. It's not like even at Forbidden Door, I liked the Athena Tony Storm match. I thought that was a really good match. You know, I'm sure Rio and Monet will have a good match too, but there's no believability here with the winners and stuff. And then
I still thought like the person I like initially thought would like finally beat Monet was like Willow, since Willow was the one she won it off. But then I don't know. There hasn't been really any progress, and same with the Willow and Statlander thing. They're just like on doing
just
the 8-woman tags.
Yeah, will they?
Just,
won't
like,
they?
on
Will they?
the
Won't
same
they?
team. Yeah, and still the Death Riders thing. Like Yuta is still trying to recruit Statlander, and now Statlander's like a tag team with Harley Cameron.
I've seen this theory going around that they think Moxley's gonna kick out Yuta and Marina Shakir and get Statlander and Garcia in their place. I'm fine with the Garcia one. I think if you throw Marina out on her own, she's drowning. Like there's nothing for her to do.
Join NXT. Next year.
No, she's going right to ROH. So I don't know. And that's a story I really like because I think that's happening tonight. I'd like to try and watch it. I'm a big Garcia guy. I like what they're doing here. I like that he's like trying to get him over there. I think that would give them some juice. But I almost wouldn't mind if they pulled like a Judgment Day Edge thing where Garcia does join, but the whole group decides to just mutiny Mox and destroy him and like heat up Garcia, and they're the Garcia writers, you know. And know what they should do? Like, wouldn't it be great you do that and you have, because I'd never liked the team, but they have like fucking Daddy Magic run out and they're like, what are you doing there? And they just Garcia beats the shit out of Daddy Magic, and like Garcia's just like he's beating up Mox, he's beating up that. He can't be up Statlander, I guess, but Marina can do that. Like Statlander, I've said this before. Tony had a great thing with her as a heel. He fucking wasted it. You don't get to go back. She was cooking as a heel, and then they just ran him like, well, I'm really sorry for all that stuff I did, and then she was back to being a babyface. Like, no, like you just
that match at All Out was like one of my like top 3 matches of the year last year, and then like they literally did nothing with it.
They did nothing.
And
they set her up perfectly.
Too.
She won. Yeah, that's where it felt. Oh, she's gonna be the next big heater. And same thing. It's like I could believe her. Same thing. Monet beat her like 6 times, so you can't do that. I guess you could do Monet and Tony or Statlander and Tony, but I wish we were in the era where they kept running with Statlander as that big heel, and that would have been great.
But if they announced like Statlander and Tony like for All Out, I'd be like, well, she's not winning.
No, she's not winning unless that's the Death Rider push, right?
Mox hits the Death Rider on
and
Tony.
I don't, you know what? I was gonna say I don't want it, but fine. You know what? Let's have a segment with Timeless Tony Storm and Jon Moxley. Let's see what happens when Tony Storm has to fight the Death Riders. You know, put her when they did a Hollywood ending match. Have Tony and Moxley do a Hollywood ending match. And just have it be whatever. But and then the other thing they just randomly, this is definitely like the Jack Perry Bryan thing where they don't know what to do right now, so they're giving Kyle Fletcher, the young upcomer, he's gonna beat or he's gonna versus a Hangman, which I thought Fletcher's a guy a year ago I didn't think much of. The look, everything, he is great. He's legitimately a bona fide star now. I think that he can be a main eventer at AEW. I think Tony should pay him a lot of money because I think WWE will go after this guy because he reminds me very much of, I know other people said this, but Orton 0304. He has that aura around him. So I'm actually really excited for Fletcher and Hangman. I think that match is going to be good, but I think much to a trope that, David, I know you don't like, I wish they just didn't do this while he was TNT champ. I wish it would be he loses the title. He's like, hey, I had a great run. Now I want the big one. The fact that he has the title, they did that with Jack, right? He was a TNT champ with Bryan Danielson. So I'm really looking forward to this match. I think they'll have really good chemistry. I think Hangman's on a roll right now, but I am not a fan of them doing this. But yeah, what do you think about seemingly it looks like we're going to get Fletcher and Hangman in a couple weeks here?
Yeah, I would prefer this to be Fletcher's full on just run at the title, things like that, lose the title and then go after this. That's fine.
Or do a double thing, at least give that title. Like, I don't think Hangman should have 2 titles, but at least give some credence. Like, hey, you put your title on line, I'll put mine on line. And I'm like, okay, I can believe that. I can believe you're defending the title and you want another one, and Hangman will happily, like, sure, I'll take the TNT title. I'll be a double champ,
I mean, I could also see a situation where, Fletcher has to face someone before he gets to Hangman, and that's when he loses the title, knowing he's on this, and it creates this whole, well, can he do it now? He went from this dominant run to now he's lost this title. Can he still go for the world title?
But only got 2 weeks, so that ain't happening.
Yeah. I know, crazier bookings have happened with AEW, so, but yeah, it's one of those things where we'll see where they go with that. I think that they will have an incredible match, so I'm at least excited for that.
Yeah. Espos, any thoughts on Hangman or Fletcher? I don't know if you did, but
not really. I mean, I'm interested in the match. I'm sure it'll be really good. And but yeah, I don't know if you guys talked about like the whole Kenny write-off already.
My goat gone again, and he's doing the James Gunn thing where he's like, "No, don't believe this headline. It's not true." And then he's written off. He's like, "Oh, I'm not in pain. I'm just going to do some stuff." It's like, dude, you're gonna be gone for months. Like, I love Kenny, but it's just like and this would be defending Fightful and like, yeah, we've heard he's gonna be out for a while. He's, no, it's don't believe everything you read. And then he's gonna be out for months. And yeah, it's funny because I was talking to these guys. I said I was gonna have a segment of the Kenny Watch 2025, but if the rumors are true, if because the rumors were that he's in lots of pain. If that's true, then I get it. My whole thing was like, this happened this week where Josh Alexander was like, oh, my dream match is like Kenny. That's my thing of like, all I want is just Kenny to have like that, where it's like, just put him in a feud with somebody and have grudge matches, have some young guys versus him, not this like Don Callis over thing, Okada over again. It's just like, but if he is in pain and still injured, then I get why he's just going to come in, work some tags and go out, because like, I would have been complete, like, at this point for interest level, I'd be completely fine with him just turning heel and fighting Hangman and doing that dynamic. But, like, if he's in pain, I get that. So I've taken the segment away. But, like, when he gets healthy, I hope that we get some stuff where it's just give him some one-offs. Let him work some people. Let him work Kevin Knight to have a little feud. Same thing. Like, turn him heel and make him be arrogant that he is, like, the wrestling god. And just have him be, like, beating people. He doesn't even need a title for any of that. But, not happening right now. Forbidden Door, was there anything? I really liked the show. I would have gave it like a 4. I don't think it was like a great show, but I think there's some good stuff. The only things I'll mention here is I really disliked the last portion of Hangman and MJF. They're having a good match, and they're doing all these weird shenanigans with the ref, and Mark Briscoe's coming out, and I don't know.
His bloodline cinema.
Yeah, it's just let them wrestle and have Hangman just beat him. MJF has the contract. He's a shit heel now. Like that. That's fine. So I thought the match was good. I really, again, because I saw people not liking this, I really like Zack Sabre and Nigel McGuinness. That's one of my type of style matches I enjoy. And then the only thing, because timeless, we talk about that. Okada and Swerve was at Okada like 3.25. Like Swerve did his best.
Like pretty much injured. So,
yes.
Yeah.
I think he already got surgery. So
he did. Yeah. So
just do whatever you can, I'm sure. So.
Go out there and wrestle.
They got through it. It is what it is. Now I was surprisingly I loved the women's Fatal 4-Way match. I think that every woman in that match really got a chance to shine, and it was a good show off for everybody. So I mean,
they're trying to build up Winslow right now, and that's happening. That was this week that she lost, which was a good match actually. Her and Mona had a good one. So
so it was. I very much enjoyed that match. That match was better than I thought it was going to be, and Yeah, I agree with everything else. The Hangman MJF one just it got a little bit too convoluted at the end. Same thing with uh the lights out match. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, this is great. Then we're just going just crazy with some things. But man, Matt
I
and
like the
Nick
lights
had
out match. I thought it was
had
fun.
an amazing showing. Like again, the Young Bucks are proving that they are still one of the best tag teams on this planet. And even without the aura of the EVP and stuff like that, Broke Boy Young Bucks are still just going.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose you like I feel like you got an affinity for those big brawl matches. I feel like that's like the triple. If you had like a Mount Rushmore of S-Bub's genres, like triple threats is in there. You like the big, because even the AEW shows I know you skip. You're watching like the big. You're reacting to those
I
ones.
always
But
watch
yeah,
like the main events of AEW
yeah,
shows. Yeah, I like the lights out match. I thought it was a lot of fun. I know a lot of people didn't really like how there was like comedy stuff in there. I
yeah.
did think it
Booker
was
T, real
funny,
man.
like the gummy bear stuff. And like, I mean, the one I was laughing about that in the Discord room was happening was the Tanahashi starting to climb the cage, and everyone talks him down out of it.
That was
I thought
great.
it was
Yeah,
really funny.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, for the two things about this is I thought it was like a good one. I just wish they did something to, because like with the lights out still cage, like you have the blood and guts and the Anarchy Arena. I just think it didn't give enough, like other than the cage design, they didn't do some sort of gimmick to make it feel really
yeah, I could
different.
see
You
that
know?
where it was like missing
Yeah,
like maybe like one more like big spot like inside the cage. I'd say because
yeah.
also they did the table with Darby and Gabe Kidd on the outside, but yeah, I do feel like it was maybe missing like one thing on the inside. I mean, maybe it would have
An
just
electric
been
chair
someone
on the top.
jumping off like the top of the cage, like
I
from
thought
the
Osprey
outside of
was
the
going.
cage to the ring. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess those are the three things where I wish it was that. The other thing, I've said this in the Discord a few times, but I I just, because it's a weird thing where they started the whole Bucks takeover AEW storyline, right? And that's where they did a couple, like, I think there was an Anarchy and Arena with them and whatnot, but then the Death Riders took over and they kind of merged those stories. This type of match and all these people, that's been like an amalgamation of all of them for like 2 years now, or at least a year and a half. I want the next Blood and Guts or Anarchy in the Arena to be like, that's what I'm really hoping the next Blood and Guts is all women. So it's just like a bunch
Yeah,
of
I
new
mean that's
people,
been
you know?
the thing that some people want for All Out. It's like if they do the women's blood and guts there.
And I hope so, because I just feel like I've seen a version of Moxley, the Bucks, Claudio, and Kenny, and Darby, and then change the other people, whether it's Eddie Kingston or whether it's Tanahashi or
Even
whether it's
like
Osprey or
Ibushi's been in
Swerve.
like 2 or 3 of these.
Yeah,
this fight
Zabushi's
too.
big comeback. He like fell on the nails. Like it's just like I've had too much of these people all together. I was gonna say I think we're coming to an end, but I never know because Moxley's whispering in people's ear. But I feel like that's the other thing we didn't talk about. It seems like they're doing Darby and Moxley at All Out, and that to me is my pitch: is Darby beats him, and the group fucking destroys Moxley, and he gets to go on his vacation. And granted, it could be like Bloodline 2.0, where if you thought the Death Riders were bad before, like look at them now without Moxley. But
Got
to me,
Garcia and Yuta, opening the show, doing
10-minute
the
Yuta
Rollins,
promos.
20-minute opening segment.
Yeah, but like, and I guess you got Gabe Kidd in there now, so there's a way. And now I know he's not wrestling, but the fact that Brian Danielson's on commentary, I can see something where they take out Moxley and he doesn't maybe help, but after he goes to check on him, like he's still like, I still think there's a way they might get Brian back into all this Death Riders stuff. But that's my hope, is Darby beats him and Moxley gets killed off for a little bit. But I've liked all the stuff Moxley's been doing post the title, like this mini Garcia feud's good. I don't know what's going on with Statlander, but I've enjoyed this stuff because I usually like heel Moxley. It's just some of the stuff they were working with in the main event was a little iffy, but yeah,
Do you think Mox and Darby's probably like a stip match, right?
it's gotta be like a
I mean,
don't
they
know,
could just do a normal
shotgun match or
and
something.
like use tables and all that stuff anyway. Just
Yeah,
but I hope they do like some sort of specific stipulation.
I feel like they're
Yeah.
gonna give it some sort of match you've never heard, like a lights out buried in concrete. Like there's gonna be some Darby special, like the body bag.
It'll be like some Mount Everest ladder match.
Mount Everest
like
6
that.
feet under match.
Yeah.
And you're like, how does that? It doesn't even make sense, So
Good old buried on the mountain match.
Yeah,
you're gonna climb up and.
Oh yeah, because Darby, he did mention something like in one of these vignettes, he was like, "I'm used to death because when I was climbing the mountain, I saw the dead bodies on the side of it." Yeah,
So
that's like
you
said that
got to
one of the
climb the
vignettes,
mountain
like,
and then bury your opponent alive.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they've done a coffin match a couple times too, right? I could see, but I want Darby to beat him
that
1,
is
2,
his
3.
stip.
That is his stip,
Yeah.
But
so
the coffin is going to be at the top of a large hill of dirt.
and then you
It'll be
push
like
it down.
Yeah, it's like a buried alive. It's like a coffin match, and then you have to put them into the dirt like a buried alive match.
Oh no! What you do is you get him in the coffin, and then because this was in the storyline, you have to get in the car and drive the coffin into the hole, and then you bury it. Because remember that and that pay per view, where the big thing was Darby just literally committing a vehicle accident to himself, and being like Moxley. So I do and that's the weird thing. They just did Lights Out. To me, that should probably go on last if they do some sort of Lights Out thing. But I hope if whatever it is, whether it's a tap or a pin, Darby should officially finally beat him this way.
If they do the dragging the coffin with the car, I need Wheeler Yuta to recreate the Big Show on top of the
He jumps
casket.
on it. Yeah, that could work. Yeah, he's riding for there. But.
I don't know what arena. I mean, All Out, that's probably pretty big. You can probably drive a car in there. They have a big enough stage, so.
I mean, it's the Scotiabank Arena, and it's pretty big. They've held a lot of events there, so yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm just trying to look at some of the other people. But yeah, I didn't say this, but I am very excited for Edge and Christian FTR. This is I know people meme on Edge and whatnot. I think you're getting a 4-star here. I think they've been working for this for a while. I will say, if this to me, I know it's a bad barring someone getting injured, if this is not a 4-star, I do think it's time for him to back out. Because I was talking about with Emily, I was like, I think we are more near the end of Edge, and you don't want to go that way. But I think they will have a bunch of spots. I think that crowd is going to be super hot for these two. It's going to be a really good time. FTR has a history in Toronto as well, too, putting on some classics. So I think it's going to be a very fun. Their family's going to be there. I could see Beth being in the front row with his kids. I think there's going to be a big hubbub about it, and I'm very excited. I think this is it is a dream match, even though they're a little older, but Christian can still go. Again, what we talked about with Seth, I love that Christian is a babyface and he's still just a piece of shit. When he picked up that mic and he's like, Dax, I heard you used to have, but Edge stopped him, and I don't know if they planned it or not, but even if he gave it back and it was planned, it was fantastic, because that's what I love.
Everyone booed Edge for taking the mic. Yeah. That was great.
And I love that he can still do that and just be like, I've heard you had a father, and that's still one of my cheapest pops. That's how we doing here in Toronto. Anytime Christian gets the mic and he says the word father, I'm that meme where it's in this chair and you lean forward because I know what he's gonna say and I know how they're gonna react every time, but it's just his cadence of so
there's a whole 5-minute compilation of it that I've
with his
seen,
theme song
people post, or not even that, just
that's the fan
that
edit.
specific time he says it. Yeah, it's
great. So I'm trying to think. And I guess you mentioned the Lady War Games. That would be great because Hayter is back? ? She came back, but I haven't seen her around really.
Wrestled,
no, I don't know. There's still visa issues, but I guess you could do Tekla, Hart, and her and Sky Blue and someone else versus them. I'd like that, but hopefully Hayter gets a push this time. But I'm fine with her going with that. And then the other thing we didn't mention was Wardlow came back. I guess Tony Khan's trying for a 4th time with him. This is an experiment that when they had the end, they shot the entire Don Callis family. There's too many people in this faction, and I've not seen it. I can't remember who's the guy that Bandito wrestled ROH a couple weeks ago.
Hechicero.
Yeah, Hechicero. I need to before the year end. I need to watch that, and I still watch the Takeshita match because everyone's just been talking about Bandito's just killing it. I can agree because he's
list to watch though.
Yeah, we'll watch it for
it's a good one.
Yeah, Bandito, and even just the tag stuff, he is on a roll, but. There's so many people in this faction. Why is Lance Archer in this faction if you got Wardlow? And even too, the Dynamite after they had a 4-man tag of the Don Callis family, Wardlow's just standing ringside, being the muscle. It's he's back and he's not wrestling. The Wardlow experiment It's over. Let him go to WWE, and I don't even know if it's going to work.
That was like
there.
the most underwhelming post-match attack too, of him just
Yes.
doing some terrible punches to what's not
Swerve, who had already been beaten. He didn't even cost the match. It was just after that. So, and that's why, like, same thing with Okada. I have no idea what they're going to do with Okada now. Like, I absolutely hate that he walks out with the 3 titles. Right. And that will possibly be good. Have they announced when they're doing Takeshita and Zack Sabre Jr.?
It's at one of the shows.
Because they're still doing it before Wrestle Kingdom, right?
Yeah, it's at the same show that Zack Sabre did it like the last year. So people are thinking maybe now they changed it to it's going to be on that show now.
I really hate that. It's like people win the Rumble and cash in early. It's just because I just think they've just completely telegraphed that Takesha's losing. I still think he would have lost at Wrestle Kingdom, but I think you could think there's a chance he could win at Wrestle Kingdom. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm going to wake up at 3 a.m. to the Discord and Takesha's the new NJWP.
Zack Sabre pretty much won it on like a house show, pretty much.
He did, So.
Well,
that'd be great.
For Goto to go film Street Fighter, so it worked out for him.
I love Takesha, so I hope it happens. Congrats to him winning the G1, but I hope it happens. But anything else I'm missing AEW wise? I'm talking about.
Did you end up watching the Evil and Takeshita G1 final?
No, I've not. I still want. That's
I ended up watching it live because I just randomly woke up at that time. Like, I wasn't even planning on doing it, but it's like, it's time, I'm gonna watch it. And I was like, it ended up being like a good match by the end of it, but at the start I was like, oh my god, this is so bad. Because they literally start like, it's literally like they're doing like wrestle holds and stuff like that for like the first 5 minutes, and Evil has like 25 guys at ringside, and like literally like I think it's like 3 minutes in, it's like already like a ref distraction or ref bump, and all the guys literally just flood the ring and start like stomping out Takeshita while the ref is like, and there's literally like 10 guys in the ring stomping Takeshita, and the ref is like just on the other side of the ring like looking at something and not noticing there's like 10 guys in there, and eventually they do all get kicked out by like Rocky Romero, then the match was actually pretty good. They're hitting some good strikes and suplexes and stuff like that, and I did end up liking it by the end, but it was just one of those like, oh my god, this is one, like, if it continued like that, it might have been just like one of the worst things I'd ever seen.
Yeah, I feel like my timeline nowadays is just people are just always bagging on New Japan Pro Wrestling right now. It's, man, they gotta figure it out. I don't know what's going on over there, but they gotta change some stuff. Maybe they gotta listen to our segment here when we're gonna book our Forbidden Door. So what we're going to do is, so we all have, Espos had this idea. Last year we did 3 matches, but we're doing 10 and then 3 pre-show matches. So let's see. So Espos, I'm gonna let you go first here. Are we doing one by one? We doing the whole cards? What we doing here?
We can do the whole cards, and it's good you started me. I'd want to either start or end last, because if I can share my screen, I actually have a full PowerPoint presentation of my.
Okay, you go last.
Yes, you go last because you've got a full PowerPoint, so you can go last. Okay. Are we going like just full show? Everyone just does their full show.
Yeah.
All right.
So, I'll talk about each one or pause however you want.
Okay, so I will go first, and I actually gave my super show a name. It's called the Battle of the Cons.
Okay, there we go.
And it with the exception of one little asterisk, it is strictly just WWE versus AEW. Some of them
is 2, other than I think maybe 1.
Some of them will be some championship matches. Others will not. So I'm going to start off with my night 1 pre-show, and
night 1.
This is so night 1 pre-show,
so
and this
2 nights.
Mine is 2 nights.
So
all these 5 matches getting Iron Man.
Okay.
So, pre-show night 1. For a chance at Cody Rhodes' undisputed WWE Championship later, we have CM Punk versus Kenny Omega. Which
show, David, my goodness.
Yes. Pre-show. You gotta put the butts in the seats. Which ends with, of course, Seth Rollins costing CM Punk. So we will get Kenny Omega versus Cody Rhodes later for the title. We are then going to kick it off with our women's championship. and it is a title versus title match. Tiffany Stratton versus Timeless Tony Storm. That's a good one. With Timeless Tony Storm taking the W. I feel like there's going to be a lot of shit talk in the ring, kind of like how Americans in New Japan do, where they are just like talking all through the match, just talking trash. It's going to be like that, and it's just going to be getting under her head and go from there. My second match is the Battle of the Scumbags, WWE IC title match, Dirty Dom Mysterio versus MJF with Dirty Dom going over.
This is something I wanted to add because I was hoping just to see how many matches we would have similar if we happen to book the exact same matches. And I didn't book this, but on my like short list, I had like 3. I was thinking like maybe I can fit this in. This exact match was one of them.
MJF in the IC picture. My God, he's not gonna be happy.
The Battle of the Scumbags, but Dirty Dom goes over, gets some help from the Judgment Day, because MJF has no friends, so who's gonna come and help him?
No, nobody.
Next up is AEW Tag Team Championship match, Brodito versus the Street Profits, with Brodito retaining, and this is the final implosion of the Street Profits. I thought the Street Profits would be a good match because you have Big Guy and Flippy Guy versus Big Guy and Flippy Guy. You know, their styles would mesh very well, but yeah. I have this with Montez Ford walking out of the match after a couple of times of miscommunication. After the third time, he's like, you know what? I'm done with this. You've got this. Brodito retain.
There you go, Brodito. Good job.
So then 1, 2, 3, 4. Next up, we have Megan Bayne is going to come out. She's going to talk about how AEW is the new home of women's wrestling, how they are revitalizing, and it is the place to be.
Queendom and Stephanie.
And then
Bayne the one cutting this promo.
Yeah, Megan Bayne getting a big push in this show, getting a promo.
Oh yeah, so she comes out, and then she talks herself about AEW being the new home of women's wrestling. That's when we get This Is My Brutality. Rhea Ripley comes out, big absolutely smashes Megan Bayne.
Just a squash match?
It is an absolute beatdown.
Oh my God, poor Megan Bayne.
Beat down.
You're getting a lot of angry tweets.
Hey, look, internet.
Dom's going MJF. Megan Bayne's getting squashed.
Internet, I gave you Megan Bayne versus Rhea Ripley. I didn't say you could choose both the people and the ending. So, and then finally, we're going to end with the match that was promised due to the earlier match, which would be Cody Rhodes versus Kenny Omega, with Cody retaining because Kenny is still beat from the match earlier. But they are going to have they are going to have a 25-minute match, and at some point during the match, you're going to hear the words "Bullet Club is fine," and Kenny's going to try and go for a 2-sweet before going for a V-trigger on Cody Rhodes. So plenty of callbacks to their old IWGP US title match. Coda is going to come to ringside, but Coda is going to be stopped by Brandy and say
she kisses him.
Nope.
They do full circle.
She says, "I don't help my partner, you don't help yours."
Okay, there we go.
So that is the ending to night 1.
Sorry, AW. You're losing out on night 1. Jeez.
So, night 2, pre-show match. Ricochet comes out, starts saying that he can beat anyone in the Old Man Company. Name any opponent, and the King will take them on.
Rhea Ripley comes out. This is she's doing double duty.
This is my one asterisk. So he keeps saying, "Come on, name an opponent, whoever you want. I'll take them on. Just say his name." Boom, we get Joe
Oh my
Hendry.
Jesus. I would be mad. You in the first ever Forbidden Door
I'm
WWE
laughing,
show?
but there's some stuff on my show that I don't know is much better than this.
You guys are menaces. I have one meme match. I got one meme match. You guys are menaces. Joe Hendry. We got WWE AEW Crossover Show. We got Joe Hendry on there.
You know they got to do it for the pop.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Right.
You're not wrong. So.
And I'm actually going to have Ricochet take this. So
Thank God.
I love me some Joe Hendry. We're doing this for the pop, but Ricochet takes this. That is my pre-show match. Now we're kicking off official night 2 with Kyle Fletcher versus a mystery opponent. It's been built for weeks that, he is going to take on someone who they think is ready for the task of Kyle Fletcher. We get Kyle Fletcher versus the call-up of Obafemi.
Oh, okay. They actually would have, for some reason, good chemistry. I can already see it already.
I'm thinking about this.
Already had a match against the fake Randy Orton and Miles.
Yes, I was thinking about his matches
the
against
other
Miles Bourne. I was thinking about his matches against some other people. I'm like, all right, so he can do that medium build. He can do the flippy stuff. Like, he can have good matches against anyone. So that's why I've got it here with Obafemi taking the AEW TNT Championship.
Okay.
We'll let you beat Joe Henry, but that's all we're letting you do here, so.
Next up, we have WWE Tag Team Championship. It is the Wyatt Six versus the Motor City Machine Guns versus the Young Bucks.
One of these things are not like the other. I think let's just strip them for one night and let the Bucks and Machine Guns go for it. But
and in this one it is a wild ride throughout the entire match. Then Motor City Machine Guns and Wyatt Six start going at each other a little bit too hard, while the Young Bucks decide, you know what, we're gonna pull back and take a break for a little bit, let them beat down each other, and then Young Bucks come in, hit a Meltzer driver, hit EVP trigger, just they pick up the pieces. Young Bucks walk out WWE Tag Team Champions. Once they do,
match.
they cut a promo to the camera on their way out with the belts, telling Tony Khan, "Our debt is now paid."
there you go.
This is all an inside job. just for the tag team championship.
Yeah.
Next one. This is just my vanity match, and it gives a crowd a chance to go to the bathroom because the entrances will be so long. I have Roman Reigns versus Okada. No belts on the line.
God.
Just
That's a dangerous match.
just a straight up. You guys got 20 minutes to go to the restroom off of entrances alone. And
a
You guys
2-star
are
right
ready
there,
for
possibly.
my Okada match.
for
Roman
this
and
one,
Okada could be a 5-star or a 1-star. There's
I have-
middle ground,
they go and they absolutely beat the brakes off of each other until the ending. Okada goes over due to the bloodline coming in and wreaking havoc, costing Roman.
Oh no, you're bringing the bloodline back for this? They're igniting their.
It's the eternal feud that will never go away. Plus, I have to give AEW some matches because the way that this ends, AEW is not going to like it. I forgot to preface this. Battle of the Cons is taking place in Montreal.
Okay.
So they're gonna do a screw job finish? Is what you're telling me? Oh God!
So next match, Women's IC Championship Fatal 4-Way. Becky, Charlotte, Bayley, Mercedes.
Yeah, that's a good one. You got to do it. Yeah.
With Mercedes taking one more belt. She is the ultimate belt collector. Screw you, Ultimo Dragon. I am the queen.
There you go. Okay.
So, and now the match that everyone's going to hate. Hangman Adam Page versus Seth Rollins for the AEW World Championship.
Not a double. Hangman's put
Just
his
for
on the
one of
line.
them.
Yeah.
Hangman's on the line. The match is going. They're having a great match. CM Punk's music hits. He comes out, sits cross-legged at the top, and reminds everyone he never lost the AEW Championship. Pulls out the fake one with the X on it and says, "This is now a triple threat." Runs to the ring, gives GTSs to both, looks over, can't decide which one he hates more for the pin, so he moves their bodies next to each other, reaches down, puts a hand on both. Nick Khan runs in. 1, 2, 3. We're out. CM Punk runs out with the AEW World Championship while blowing a kiss to Tony Khan.
God damn. Poor Tony's going to fear for his life.
Thus ends the Battle of the Khans.
Jeez, your show is hectic. That was the Twitter drama.
When you said you did Battle of the Cons, I was expecting like the Trump and Vince match where they're gonna have just like a person representing them.
God damn. All right, I'll go next. I save S-Bubs' showcase there, and it sounds like he also has a wild show. I feel like I'm the same.
I feel like now that I'm hearing David's, mine's not that crazy, but I think what I try to do is try to do matches that like not everyone books as like the obvious fantasy booked matches or stuff that I would want to see and stuff that I hadn't done last year.
Yeah, I didn't do anything I did last year. At least for most of them. I think one of them I did do last year. I didn't do anything I did last year. I think mine is a mix of random stuff I just very much want to see to there's a couple fantasy ones that people would book up time. But so my pre-show, this is my one meme pick. I have AJ Boom versus Bad Bunny just for the social media hype alone. I think that could be you get Bad Bunny's posse, you get Damian Priest in there, you have the fucking Swizzler or whatever his name is over there.
The Rizzler.
The Rizzler. There you go. Another one. This is just, Big E talks about, I just want to see big, meaty men. This means you want a big, meaty woman. Maybe they've wrestled somewhere on the indies. I'm sure they have. But I want Chris Statlander versus Jordan Grace in my pre-show. I just want some big, powerful offense. They just go for it. Have a great match. I wanted this on the main card, but there's a couple people I just couldn't bump. So I'm going to change it. It's going to be a coffin match. I'm saying it's going to be Darby Allin versus Braun Breaker because I just want to see Braun Breaker beat the holy shit.
Braun will do the spot that Claudio just did with him, throwing him into the crowd.
They'll throw him into the casket the coffin this time. He'll hit him in the or like we can get a spot where Braun Breaker spears him into the the amount of spots.
Or they like break the coffin and have to pull out another. Like he's in the coffin, he like spears through the coffin. Has to pull out
we need
another
a new
one.
coffin. We need and then Undertaker. Oh, he can be like the special guest. He'll bring out his casket, but like
or they bring it down from the ceiling like the TNA match.
And that's oh my god, and that's where we get the Sting Undertaker face off because Sting's tied in with Darby and Braun and Undertaker. So that's where finally we get Sting on Undertaker. They try to tombstone him, he can't do it, but they just go for a clothesline. But no, I legitimately think Darby versus Braun Breaker could be a 5 out of 5 star match. Like the damage they would do to each other when like Darby does that pinball thing through the ropes. But I'll say Darby gets the win because it's a coffin match. Now he finds a way. I didn't book the winners really, so that's my bad.
Yeah, me neither. I didn't really.
Yeah, David's a full GM mode. Make sure next GM mode you bring that hype. Next month we'll be back for that. All right, so kicking the show off hot, Gunther versus Takeshita.
This is a match I had on my card, but I changed it because I'm not sure with the Gunther I don't know if it's an injury or just time off. But I'll let you have it. But I'll just say for myself, I took it off because I wasn't sure, but. Honestly, the rules don't matter.
I didn't know we were using current injuries and champions like you two, so I was like, oh, good.
I mean, for the championships, I did change a little, so the rules are loose.
Yeah, I
I'm
did
just
none
saying,
of
I
the current
almost
day
booked this
stuff.
match.
My booking is like at WrestleMania they announced we're doing this show and they're gonna do it, in 6 months from now. So it's in a future or whatnot. So Gunther
Yeah,
versus
well,
Takeshita.
mine was written before the return of AJ Lee. So
That's
when I
true. I
wrote
don't
it
have
last
AJ, yeah.
week, she wasn't a factor, and then I didn't go back after Monday and go, oh, I need to factor her in.
Yeah.
Next, I got Seth Rollins versus William Ospreay. Obviously, they had a little feud a couple years ago when Seth was making fun of his bank account. Seth was just really mad because he wanted to be like the best in the world, and Ospreay was doing his stuff, and no one would talk about Seth. So I think you can do not as bad as the Punk stuff, but some similar real life stuff. This is definitely the workhorse. They're putting a bunch of crazy stuff, flips and everything. Would be a really good match. This one, I don't know why. I just want them both on the card, and I was trying to find people for them. I'm like, this would go together well. I got Io Sky versus my girl, Jamie Hayter. I think the chemistry these two would have, very similar to like a Rhea Io situation, would be off the chains. Like I think this would be that match that this happens, and then 2 months later, Pop H is like, we gotta get that Jamie Hayter girl. Did you see? They're gonna Joe Hendry her. They're gonna bring her over there, but. It'd be fantastic. I got, because of those tweets that came out a couple weeks ago, we talked about this, I got Mercedes Moné versus Lyra Valkyria, but also not just because she's a big fan. I just think that would go, I think Monet usually does the best when she is versing someone that's bigger or more powerful, and that's Lyra. She's got that power game. I've said before, she's a mini Bryan, and I think there'd be a good segment where she's tossing Monet around, but there's a lot of things you could tie in there, so that's what I got, Mercedes Monet and Lyra. I didn't book this last time. This is an obvious dream match one. I'm going Bucks versus Usos. Just got to do it. Has to be on the card. Never happened. They've talked about it, so alas. This is a throwback. They've wrestled before, but this would be so different now from where they started. I got Rhea Ripley versus Toni Storm. They were both in the Mae Young Classic. Toni Storm beat Rhea Ripley. They were the first and second UK Women's Champion. So you play off that history, but you think about where Rhea Ripley is and Toni Storm is now, that would be massive. And I think just that poster, like if I was doing a night one, night two, honestly, that would probably be my main event of the show, because that on a poster, Rhea versus Toni, man, that'd be some good entrances, theatrics, the whole 9 yards. So this, I couldn't think of much, but I thought, man, I want to see, this is, it's not a meme pick, but I got Moxley versus Roman in a full, just like, bloodline Death Rider rules match. Like, I don't know who Yuta's gonna face. I guess Yuta's gonna face off against Sammy or something like that, but that's what I want. I want all the entrances, everything, just every single thing you throw out there. And just because Roman and Moxley, they had one match, Dean Ambrose, they had one match in WWE, and that was like a tournament where friends will be good after this. They never got to have the heated rivalry, so this is my pitch, that they would be heated this time. I'm doing Kenny Omega versus AJ Styles. I could not get Punk anywhere on the card. I thought of it, but reason I'm doing this is because Kenny took over from AJ in the Bullet Club, and I've always hated that with New Japan. I get why, but their new leaders always got kicked out, or the new leaders kicked out the old leaders, and then they were gone. They never got to do like the old leader versus the new leader.
Now, New Year's Dash, and you're off.
Exactly, right? So that's who Kenny took it from. I think you got the Bucks on the same show. You got the Good Brothers. Lots of fun stuff there. And, send AJ Styles off in style. This is one that I looked it up. I don't think I saw it anywhere, or if I saw it, I think I saw it one place, but it was, again, in the Indies years ago when he's much different. I got Cody Rhodes versus Swerve Strickland. I just think this, for the promos, the build-up, man, Swerve and Cody, there could be some good stuff here, and I think their styles would work, and I think Swerve's being full-on, like the same way he turned back to being vicious heel Brian, it's that way. He's being a vicious heel, he's making fun of Brandy, he's doing all this stuff. And then my last match, not main event, because I guess it would be Rhea Tony, I got Hangman versus Drew McIntyre in some sort of weapon stip match. I want them to beat each other. This is just because, like, the last 2 years, like, last year, Drew was my favorite character, and then this year, Hangman's my favorite character. So this is a personal pick. And I also just think, like, you put them in a cage, Texas death match.
This last year.
Did you? Okay, yeah. I think this would be a hard-hitting, bloody, just a big beat 'em down match, and I would like to see the styles clash of these two. They can bond over. Oh, and here you go. Here's the addendum. Punk is a special guest referee. That's all. I'll get Punk on the card that way. He's hurt. He's a special guest referee with Drew McIntyre versus Hangman. So or fuck it. You know what? I'll make it a 3-way. I'll take it back. I'll make it a little bit different because as was last year, I got no 3-ways. I'm gonna say it's Hangman versus Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk in just an ultra we hate each other type of match. So that's my whatever Forbidden Door card. So.
Well,
all right, S-Bubs.
Let me share my screen before I start talking because I do have some stuff to say.
The PowerPoint.
So we have a very similar main event of the people who hate CM Punk in a triple threat match.
Yeah, you got the Seth and Hangman. I got the Drew and Hangman. So
apparently, I can upload a slideshow on here. Apparently, let me see.
Really, that's fascinating.
I clicked on share screen and there's a. Let me try and do that and see how it is.
Yeah, I went back
that
and
way
forth
I don't
with
spoil
Hangman.
if it shows the side.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I was just looking for a place for Ospreay on the card. I was like, you know what? I'll get Ospreay and Seth. That would feed some families there. It'd be a good time. So.
Let's see.
Yeah. The only reason I left Ospreay out was because of the current injury.
Yes,
Again, I was trying to go as current as I could to people and things like that. Plus, again, get some other people on the card. And I was like, there's no way that we could have this kind of thing without doing that women's 4 horsemen match. So that one, those are one of my written in guaranteed matches.
Yeah. Oh, I see some up
Can
here.
you guys see my screen?
I see it. There you go. All right, here we go.
So I wasn't seeing much during Travis's showing there because one thing reason I like Travis so much, we're very similar minded in terms of things so a lot of the matches that you booked are super similar, if not exactly the same as the ones I booked. But let's get through it because I do think I have some fun stuff. So
let's see this.
We're starting off with
is AJ Boom on your card? No one got AJ Boom. Is he? Oh my god.
So starting off 0 hour match 1. And this is a $250,000 4-way match. So this is gonna be Dragon Lee, versus Roderick Strong.
Oh wow, you're going to the hardcore.
Versus Carmelo Hayes,
my man. Yeah.
Versus Bandito.
That's Meltzer's gonna fucking love this match.
And so I didn't necessarily book winners for all of them, but for this one, Bandito's definitely winning.
He's got the hot streak right now.
Yeah. So 0 hour match 2. This is a match I just thought would be interesting for where they are in their careers, and this is just a singles match between Billy Starks and Roxanne Perez.
That'd be fun.
And Roxanne Perez, if you didn't know, she is actually the first ROH Women's Champion.
Oh really? Okay.
Just ever,
yeah.
So
I did
as Roxy.
Yeah. So
in a couple years, if the Izzy girl that's a Bailey fan becomes, you can make it a 3-way in the future. So no, that's a fun one.
Then number 3, this is where we get cooking. We're on fire here. We've got any 5 members of the Don Callis family. Pick whichever one. Well, pick the jobber ones, not the important ones. Okay. So let's just say pick 5 of whichever ones you want here against the team of Orange Cassidy, Mr. Iguana, Big Boom AJ, and the team of Jey Uso and Ishii, aka Ishii Yeet.
Ishii Yeet. Oh, you have the trademark there
GeekVerse logo's blocking it off, but we have the team. Yeah.
Hang on. I can take the logo down in a second. There you go. Ishii Yeet, trademark. Oh my god. Fucking Jey Uso's curtain jerk in the 0 hour match doing the. In the London 02.
He's getting the people hyped.
That's a good mascot team right there. Yeah, the social media with Jey Uso, Iguana, and AJ Boom is gonna be off the chart. So,
all right. So now we're on to the main show, and we're starting off crazy here because this match is a ladder match.
Oh, okay.
And it is for the WWE Championship.
Wow.
Between Cody Rhodes and this is gonna be some interesting lore. Ladder match. Obviously, Cody's gonna be the first person out on this show. on the AEW WWE Crossover Show, and he's fighting someone who has a championship. I think he cares a lot about, because this match is going to be against Kyle Fletcher.
Oh yeah, that TNT title.
And I think this would be a really good. This is just a match that in my head I've just thought I would want to see this match. And you have the TNT title lore, TNT title ladder match lore. His last match in AEW. So
what do you want to talk about? First time you ever said those words is that promo,
So
yeah, we said it while you were gone, but we said that TK has to offer Kyle a lot of money, because I feel like WWE's gonna be after this guy.
I think he did sign or something like.
I thought that recently, right?
He did. Big deal.
Yeah. He knew. He's like, if I don't, they're gonna get Orton 2.0, so I gotta get him. So.
All right, so that's my match number 1. Match number 2. Honestly, I forgot the order I put these in, so I'll be sort of remembering. But okay, now I remember it. This match is a stadium stampede match between. We're coming together. The Seth and the Death Riders together on one team.
Oh, they're
but
together.
More specifically, Seth and Braun and Mox and Claudio is one team against the team of LA Knight, Sami Zayn, Mark Briscoe, and Darby Allin.
That's good. Yeah, I'd love to see Stadium Stampede in WWE, because they do some cinematic stuff too, which would be big.
The way Braun Breaker is gonna cut Darby Allin in half with one of those spears.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I got match number 3, and this match is for the Women's United States Championship. And it's a 4-way between Julia, Megan Bayne, Queen Aminata, and Stephanie McCarron.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that. A lot of cool outfits going on.
Yeah. I try to pick. If you notice, for the pre-show matches, I just did people's renders, and for these ones, I try to find at least interesting pictures.
Yeah.
But it was hard fitting them into the PowerPoint, because they'd just be too small.
Yeah.
Okay. And that'd just be a fun match. I don't want to say. Match 4, we have here the Young Bucks versus Fraxium.
Oh, that's a good
tag
one.
team, exhibition match. And I feel like these are very similar styles, and it's sort of be a past versus future type match here. And this would be a 6.5 from Meltzer.
Absolutely. Incredible. They're incredible.
Best tag team in the world, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
No one's doing it like Matt or no Nick. He loves Nick.
Yeah,
no one's doing it like Nick.
All right. Then we have match number 5, and this is for the Women's World Championship WWE between Io Sky and Chris Statlander.
Yeah.
So we're sort of on the same page here, because you had
big powerhouse lady.
Yeah.
No, I like it.
And there it is. Match number 6. Let's see. Okay, this is. Oh yes, we're also on the same page. This is a tag team match between the team of Bayley and Mercedes Moné against Willow Nightingale and Lyra Valkyria.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, get them both together.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I like that.
And match number 7 for the AEW Unified Championship. This is a 4-way match, which I don't even know if that works in these rules. I don't know if you can have 4 ways with the rules of it, but whatever. It's going to be Okada defending against AJ Styles, Konosuke Takeshita, and Finn Balor, with him taking the pin.
Oh, no.
Now, so that automatically excludes Takeshita from the pre-show match, right?
Oh, yeah, no, I said you're getting 5 jobbers on the feature. You're getting Rocky Romero, Trent Beretta, Wardlow. You're getting the
Brian Cage.
Trent is on there. I forgot Trent Beretta's on there.
Yeah, you're getting this, not even the B team of the knockout. You're getting the C team on the pre-show. The ones that can lose to a Big Boom AJ. All right, so here's my 4-way. Match number 8. I think this start my triple main event. It is for the AEW Women's Championship between Toni Storm and Rhea Ripley.
Absolutely.
Obviously.
Yeah.
This is the one I booked it last year, but I mean it's the match.
You
this
did?
is the one
Okay,
I was
I
considering
forgot,
as this could be the main event as well. I was thinking,
Yes.
but I think the main event I picked is an interesting one as well.
Okay.
Then got match number 9. this is the once in a lifetime match between
That
John Cena and Kenny
Hell
Omega.
yeah. Hell yeah. I like that. That's a good one. He comes back for, there's always one more match I wanted to have and I didn't get to have it, and that's you, Kenny. Yeah, I wish. That'd be tons of fun. Yeah.
And then finally, the main event. If you haven't noticed, I guess specific people I haven't mentioned, you can probably guess where this one's going. It is for the AEW World Championship, and it is a Texas death match between Hangman Adam Page and CM Punk.
That would be the craziest. Both promoters would be so worried going in this whole time, and they gotta use glass. There has to be a glass spot, 100%. Because I saw a tweet today being like, "Man, if Jack Perry doesn't say real glass, AJ Lee's debuting against Mercedes Moné this week." But no, I love that. All our main events were somehow with Hangman and Punk hate sent. Like that was like
that's the biggest AEW WWE story you can do.
It is. Oh, it absolutely is, because that led to one thing and another, right? So, that's great. Yeah. Oh, that was fun. Yeah, no, maybe we'll make that a yearly tradition. Maybe we'll try and do that for. He's getting himself the best booker promoter award. Oh my God, jeez Louise. But yeah, maybe we'll do that around August, September, whenever we're at Forbidden Door, because those are fun and try to change them up a little bit. So. No, that was good. Yeah, this was a girthy show because also we had a lot to catch up. We had AJ added like 30 to 40 minutes on this episode, but it was worth and everything. So yeah, we'll be back September 21st live, and then obviously on the 22nd you'll get on the podcast feeds, and then we'll be talking about All Out, talking about Wrestlepalooza, and then everything else kind of in between. I'm sure in the next 3 weeks there'll be some news, but that'll be the next one. And then GM mode we will get back to you because I know next week I'm out of town for a wedding, so we will. And then the weekend after is that. So maybe that 27th, 28th weekend might be the next GM mode one, which is good. We needed a break after the disaster stream that happened last time. So, but yeah, we'll be back for that. I guess I should say what our plan is, because most of the time now, other than the drafts, all the times we've done, because we do 2 hours for GM mode, those have always ended up being we could do like 10 weeks, so it's kind of like 2 play sessions. So with the way it's going to work out, I don't know what's happening. I know we'll see about 2K26. We'll get there next year, because if there's some good additions to GM mode, I'll buy it. If there's not, I won't. But to close off the year until 2K26 gets out, with the sessions we got left, what we're going to do is we're going to finish season 3 here. So we're going to finish off, get the winner, and then after that, because we had like an uneven amount of if GM mode or 2K26 come out, we have 1 month off. What we're going to do to fill up that last month, and for season 4, after season 3, we're going to do that. Then we're going to do a 2-hour stream, or whoever to get to the 5 wins of, we're going to make a wheel on here, the randomizer wheel. We're going to put in a bunch of matches, and it's going to be a purely just us playing together wrestling matches, and that's going to decide the order of the GM mode. And then what we're going to do for our 4th season, we're going to start over. Everyone will be the same amount of fans, but no one can pick the GM or the shows. So Sean, Xavier, and who else is there? I have Steph. They're off the table, and also that means
Raw,
NXT, Raw, SmackDown off the table. So we're going to go in the 4th season, new GMs, new shows.
Interesting, because obviously we picked like the ones with the best show, like power cards and stuff.
Yeah,
so we're going to be working with some interesting stuff.
I've been playing GMO, trying like different GMs, because I always just pick Steph's. I'm like, I guess I should try to find, and I got to find multiple because I'm not sure who you guys would pick. So yeah, we're going to finish season 3, and then we'll do a whole just Halloween Havoc, us fighting. First person to get to 5 wins is first place, and then if there's a tie, then we can do tiebreaker, and if not, then we'll just see whoever gets to the next one and go from there. But because it'll be like whoever gets to 5, then whoever has the most points after would be that point. So I imagine you're for sure getting 5, but I guarantee you it's not going to be, unless I suppose just sweeps us again. We'll see. But
Gotcha.
But this is different because you got ladder matches, you'll have backstage brawls,
ladder match, backstage brawls, falls count anywhere, Iron Man's.
Every step on there. I even thought
even
it'd be
like
fun.
A submission match and stuff like that. Like
Submission, I even thought
skills.
what I'm going to put on there as well, we'll make it just a 10-man one, but put a battle royal, and whoever like finishes longer gets like the win there.
I'd even want like special referee on there where it's just like two of the other ones and
Yeah.
one person's the referee.
That'd
I don't
be
know how you
good.
get the points for that. Maybe that'd
Yeah,
be like
that'd
the
be tough.
tiebreaker
Yeah,
with the third person.
Can you
as
trust
the
that ref
referee.
though? They're gonna screw
Yeah.
someone over, But yeah, we definitely put ref on the wheels. Yeah, that'll be in a couple months. And yeah, thanks for tuning in the Gimmick. We'll be back in a couple weeks, and it won't be boring.